go, here we go. Another stream in the house. Welcome back to a Saturday stream here on the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys checking me out. Figured I'd do another stream. It is my birthday weekend, so with that, we're gonna do some birthday flying. Here we are today here at Denver International Airport. We are flying for Frontier in this A319 Airbus. This is the tolless A319 in X-Plane, it's payware. And as you can see here, we got a nice brown bear at the fin of the aircraft, which my wife will know exactly why I love flying this aircraft. A little inside joke about bears, and the kids will know. Anyway, we are flying from Denver to Albuquerque and then on to El Paso. So this flight is full service to El Paso with one stop in Albuquerque. Passengers will disembark, some will get on, and then we'll keep rolling. We are on PilotEdge today. So before we continue, I just want to say hello to everyone and happy Saturday, happy weekend. And a lot of things happening on the country here. We got our inauguration on the 20th. Pray for a smooth transition regardless of whatever side of the political lines you're on. Let's just be one country, one love, one race, the human race. There you go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on the flight deck here. And now we can most certainly check out what I've been up to here. I've got everything situated here. I got the flight plan in already. And just so I don't waste you guys' time, and of course now we have to turn our comms on so that we can actually file our flight. Well, the flight plan has been filed, but we have to turn the comms on in order to actually make sure that we have a clearance. Let me just these lights are a little dark here, and let me just check here and see if there's any other lighting on this pedestal here. Wish I could get rid of this armrest, but I guess in this one you can't get rid of the armrest. Let's see what we got here. Parking brake. I'm looking for any type of light switches down here. Looks like those are the only two. Let me just double check up top, make sure there's no light switches up here that I can mess with to make it lighter down there. I don't think we can. I've turned these up already, so I've brightened that up. Let's see here. We got the E-cam, which we brightened up, of course. And now, for whatever reason, this radio stack is dark. Let me see when I turn the power on if the lights come on. Okay, there we go. Lights are on here. Again, ready for departure, 309. We are on
Worker 306 services.
PilotEdge.
Correction, San Jose Tower, runway 30 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 30 left, Walker 306.
Billings Tower, Kodiak 292 Mike Charlie, midfield.
Alright, just turning them up here. So now what I need to do, of course, is come back up here. Let's give you guys this view, and then we have to file. But in order to do so, we most certainly have to do that with our charts.
Clear to land, Kodiak 292 Mike Charlie.
Alright, so just, you know, I like to give you guys a little view of what's crack-a-lackin'. So as you can see, here we are at Denver. I've planned for runway 34 right, but if they switch it to 34 left, we'll make a change in the FMS.
Thank you.
And
you are clear to Medford Airport via fly present heading. Beta vector Sammy, that's Sierra Alpha Mike India Echo. Direct, descend and maintain 14,000.
Alright, let's see if that makes a little bit difference, where we can still hear some stuff here. Alright. Again, hope everybody's doing good. Thanks for checking out. Let's go ahead and call for this clearance now. And we'll go ahead and shut the music off for now.
Stay on your current course at the moment.
Completely. So we can hear what's going on. Alright, so anyway, the frequency that we're looking at is, here's our ATIS, here's our Denver clearance, so let's get clearance and then we'll get the ATIS, so we'll type in 118.75 and get on up out of here. And we won't belabor this too long, that way we can get up and get out, so we're looking for 118.75, of course.
306, contact departure.
Over to departure, Walker 306.
Alright, 118.
Walker 462,
and then
contact Salt Lake Center
118, and then the small one. We should get that to 75. 118,975. That's not what we wanted. We wanted 118,75. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Here we go. All right.
Walker 462, Salt Lake Center, Jackson altimeter 3026, Cicino Paso, Scratch to maintain 16,000.
All right, there we go. Let's make sure that transmission is all complete. Denver clearance, Frontier 318, IFR Albuquerque.
Frontier 318, Denver clearance, standby.
All right.
No cut departure, Walker
We'll
30.
be standing by. They usually get super busy.
Walker 306, NorCal departure, radar contact, climb via FedEx 17, flight level 190.
All right, in the meantime, we'll be doing our better pushback, planning that.
Walker 306.
Hopefully she doesn't start. Hey, love, how are you doing, honey? All right, wife is out with a few of our children today, out in the streets. So love you, honey. Thanks for supporting. Hope you're out there staying safe, getting your shopping.
Mike Charlie, exit
All right, let's go ahead and work on our better pushback.
Left one able, which is
And
right
we'll just
now,
come
taxi
and,
via hotel to the parking. Thank you very much. I'll
Push
monitor
ourselves
ground.
back.
292, Mike Charlie.
And let's see, that's a taxiway that planes can go under, so we want to be sure. I believe that's I. So I think if we just push ourselves back here to be on the safe side, then we can make any turns that we want to make.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
And we'll just wait for our clearance to come through.
Ground, Baron.
So we've got that done. What else can we multitask on, guys, while we're waiting for our clearance?
9045, Delta Mike, Medford ground, standby number 2.
There's not a whole lot to do until we get our clearance, because there I've done everything else to make this a seamless pushback for you guys. So while she's working on our clearance, which she may update it, let's look at our fuels. We have fuel on board, 5,900 kilograms of fuel, and we've got, I believe, 72 passengers on board. We'll see that once we get our V-speeds ready, which I'll make sure that I confirm the V-speeds once I verify which runway that we're going to be taking off. So hopefully she gives us what runway to expect. In the meantime, what we can do is put the ATIS in a 134.025. So let's come over here. Actually, let's do this way. And maybe we'll throw it in our comm too. So let's turn that one on.
Piedmont 4715, thank you. No traffic is there between you and Columbus.
And 134.025.
When this frequency on the ground within 5 minutes of landing on 122.2, change to departure frequency approved.
025.
404 Foxtrot Romeo, clear to Lima Alpha Airport. Hikes to departure to Denver. Direct Jeffel as filed. Maintain 8,000. Expect 9,000. 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.1 squawk 2504.
Archer's contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested.
404 Fox Romeo, clear to the Lamar Airport via Pike 2, direct JetFull, then as filed. Altitude 8,000, expect 10,000.
ATIS information Lima, 2353 Zulu, wind 050 at 10, visibility 10. Few clouds at 9,000. Few clouds at 1504. Ceiling 18,000 broken. Temperature 1. Dew point -7. Altimeter 3007.
And squawk 2504. Go ahead for Fox Romeo.
35 left.
All right, so the 3-4s are.
4 Fox Romeo, read back correct.
The 3-4s, as expected, are in use. Altimeter's
7185 Charlie, turn left direct Sammy.
And we'll just be waiting here patiently until she comes on. So hopefully, she told the other guy that he was number 2, but that would mean either I was number 1 and got passed over, or there was somebody else ahead of me.
Frontier flight 318, clear to Albuquerque International Airport. SEDS 1 departure. SEDS as filed. Flying via SID. Expect flight level 320. 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.1 squawk 6655.
Okay, cleared to Albuquerque is filed. SUDS 1 with SUDS transition. Climb via SID. Expect flight level 320 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 126.1, squawking 6655. Frontier 318.
Frontier Flight 318, read back correct.
All right, so that read back was correct. So essentially now what we can do, let's just turn that off and let's finish getting our COM 1.
Runway 35 right approach in use. Multiple RNUV Zulu approaches in use. VFR departures, contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Lima.
All right.
Denver International Airport. ATIS information Lima.
Okay, so we still don't know which runway we're getting. That's why that pushback makes sense. So we'll come back on frequency here now, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the actual
United 6110
ground frequency. Let's see, we are essentially
6110,
it's saying west or east.
Runway, 1 left, taxi via Alpha, Mike
so
1.
we essentially look like we'll be on the west side, so 127.5. So 127 and then decimal 5.
1 left, taxi via Alpha, Mike 1.
And we won't do anything else until we know what runway that we're taking. So that's also going to depend on our V speed, so I don't even want to mess with that yet. So let's just go ahead up top now and get our APU on and get ready to get out of here. So let's put the power on and then of course hit start. Now while we're doing that as well, let's make sure all of our lights and all that good stuff are on. We're going to turn the beacon on. We've got our nav on, and we don't need to turn anything else here on right now at the moment. Let's make sure our emergency lights are armed, and let's get the no smoking and the passenger seat belts where they need to go. And now we can come down here, of course, and check on that APU status. You can see the flap is open, and the APU is still coming up, so we just have to wait for that APU to be available. Once this gets to 100%, the APU will be available for us. So it's still doing its thing, and then we'll throw the APU generator on. Of course, up top it'll tell us that when it's available too. So right now it's on and on, but we should get an available marking once it is ready to switch over like such. So now we can just essentially come up top, and in order to put that APU generator on, we just, I guess it switches over automatically. So now we can just take the external power off, and you can see it switched over to the APU. And then we need to make sure that the bleeds are open for the APU. So if you can look here, let's put that APU bleed on. So now the engines will most certainly be able to get some air once we go for start, and we're doing the SUDS 1. And the reason why I'm taking a look at this is our departure. So departure frequency is not that. She gave us a separate departure frequency, and we can see from the 3-4s, climb heading 353, and then stay on the heading of 353. So that's essentially what we're going to need to get in there. And the top altitude is flight level 230. So with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to have to pull this out essentially, and we said that heading is 353, and the top altitude, let's see, what are we getting a message for? Okay, yes, the barrel reference. We're going to cross-check 3007. That's just giving me a warning because I haven't switched it over yet.
945 Delta Mike.
945 Delta Mike ground.
There we go, 3007, and then we can also put it in here as well. We need to switch this over to where this is. Let's see, we got to get it to where this is not on this. Let's check out and see. Okay, that's cool. You can put that on, reset. There should be a way to change it from QNH. Let's see. Let me come and get a better look, because right now it's in QNH. We want to get it in the inches here, which we use in the United States. Here's a little trick though, guys. If you can never do that, you're just going to come over here and you'll turn this. This does turn into the what I'm looking to do. So all you need to do is come here and make sure. It's very tricky with these aircraft. Let's sit up. There's a trick to find out what the QNH is.
9 Alpha Tango, welcome to Aspen. Taxi straight ahead to the ramp and on the ground.
This thing is being.
Straight ahead the
There
ramp.
we go. That's what I'm looking for. That little cross piece. But it's a certain click spot. You got to get it. There we go. It's 10, so 1018. So now we just come here and put this to 1018, and that's the work around that. Since that's not changing, there we go. 5460, everything's good. So having said that, let's go ahead and disconnect our ground power, and the way you do that is through this piece right here. And ground services, external power.
Denver Tower,
now we got rid of that.
696,
We'll come back to the screen here in a second, but now let's get our better pushback going.
696 Denver Tower, runway 25, minus point, waiting on fire release.
All right.
Wait, Alaska 696.
Cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Now one thing we need to do is also get our squawk code in, which is 6655. Now we have our squawk code of 665 on, of course. And this one, okay, then we can turn this to TARA. So let's go ahead and do that now so that I don't forget. TARA, and I'm just going to literally turn it to on. That way I don't have anything to worry about. We're just assuming the tow is coming up. And yeah, we can essentially prepare for departure here out of Denver. Again, our only curious
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
our only curious point is what runway are we going to be taking. You can see the parking brake is set here.
Oscar 696, wind 06.
So it's been some time since I've flown this aircraft, so let's pray for a smooth departure. I love how X-Plane, the vehicles are just coming out of the wall. Let's go outside and actually take a look and see if we're getting all hooked up. And you can see that tow there doing their job. All right. You can see he's there doing his job. He's connected some stuff. You can see that the plane is lifting up, essentially. That's what they do. They put this little piece here, and now he's saying it's connected.
Release parking brake.
Bypassing the pin is inserted, and then this plates come here and cup the wheel and lifts it up. So essentially the weight of the front of the aircraft is on this thing. So these little things are quite powerful. So let's release the parking brake. All right, parking brake is released.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
All right.
Mike, runway 14, taxi.
We'll wait till we get all pushed back to start those engines.
Charlie 2 and Alpha.
Runway 14 via Charlie 2 Alpha 945 Delta Mike.
95 Delta Mike, verify you have Oscar.
We have Oscar Delta Mike. 945 Delta Mike.
And while they're doing that, I think it should still be Lima, but he just said Oscar, so let's check and make sure it hasn't changed to Oscar.
Oscar 696, contact.
35 left.
Turn them down a little bit.
8. Visual approaches in use. ILS runway 34 left, runway 34 right, runway 35 left, and runway 35 right approach in use. Multiple RNAV Zulu approaches in use. VFR departures, contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if head following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Lima.
Okay, so it's still Lima. So we'll cut that off, and now we'll turn the volume back up for our air traffic control. Let's just make sure we have it on.
Runway 1 left at Mike 1, clear for takeoff.
All right, we've got it on ground now. 127.
Yeah, 6110, need to read back as runway 5. Runway 1 left at Mike 1, clear for takeoff.
1 left at Mike 1, clear for takeoff.
And again, the tower we said was 1875. Our departure frequency is 126. So let's put that on this side. I think we're done with the ATIS, but we'll switch it up. It's 126.1. So we'll bring that down.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Centennial Ground, Sky High, 404 Fox Romeo, North Run-Up area with Zulu, ready to taxi.
There we go. Parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right. Again, it's going to be 126, so we can come down here and change the big knob, and then we said it's decimal 1.
404 Foxtrot Romeo, send 10 on ground, thanks. Verify of information Golf, you are, there were some other voices there.
Alright, 1261,
I'm running information Zulu.
Number 4 Foxtrot Romeo, roger.
Now they're disconnecting.
Runway 35 right, do you need 17 left?
Alright. Now we can go ahead and get that engine started. So we're going to come over here while they're disconnecting. We're going to put the ignition on and
Number 4 Foxtrot Romeo, runway 35
start engine 2 by lifting this
be a long taxi, but
lever up.
Be Alpha.
6 Alpha for 35 right, 4 Foxtrot Romeo.
Yeah, 61 10, contact North Alpha.
You see N2's coming up here.
On the right.
Over to NorCal, yeah.
Alright, you said hand signal is going to be on the right, so we'll see what is crack-a-lacking after that. Otherwise, we are ready for a smooth flight. Smooth flight. No worries there. Alright, we'll just wait for that engine to come up before we start the next one. Alright, perfect. I got a couple of my children in here, so there may be times during this flight I mute the microphone and converse with them. It's always daddy first and flying second. Alright, we got that one up and running. Let's go ahead and start the second engine.
Ready for departure.
Alright. You can see that's already coming up. If you come back here, you
runway 14, clear for takeoff.
can hear that engine speeding
Runway
up.
14, clear for takeoff, 945 Delta Mike.
And we are flying flaps 2 today. So here in a second, we'll get our takeoff configuration all straightened out. Now, let's go ahead and come here, and before we get everything ready, you can see here we're climbing up to an altitude of 5,630, but then we're going to essentially have to go direct afterwards to Skaggs once we get vectored over there, and then that one is apparently here at flight level 267, so we'll be ascending smartly. And you can see the generators just kicked over, so I'm going to go to the SUDS 1 departure. And essentially, once we get our vectors, we can keep going. So let's see, climb heading 353, 594, then on heading 353 as assigned by ATC. Expect vectors across Skaggs at or above flight level 180. So that's definitely above flight level 180.
November 229
so,
Alpha Tango.
yeah, we'll see what air traffic control gives us. You can see here's that heading at 353. Which is no worries. Now that that's done, one thing we have to do here is we want to put that back into normal. We also want to arm our speed brakes.
Alpha Tango, Aspen clearance, roger. Are you looking for advisories to Colorado Springs?
There we go. Now that that's pulled up, that speed brake is armed.
Well, we're going to get off the ground, and I'm looking, for advisories. That'd be great, thanks.
Brakes to max for RTO, so that if we need to do an aborted takeoff or rejected takeoff, we have that situated. And then, of course, now we need to put our flaps down.
If you just say VFR,
let's go back out here and we'll notice our flaps coming down to 2.
But departure frequency 123.
And we're just doing a togo takeoff, so there's the flaps being extended to 2, as you can see. And then now we can essentially, let's do a flight
controls check.
Pretty sure I got 123.8
and I'll squawk
0301.
And I was under the impression that even if you do VFR, you still need to follow
I mean, not our flaps, but our speeds and all trims and all that. But we'll take care of that. We haven't forgotten. All right. So let's actually look down
a little bit. If I go VFR, I just go straight out.
Right there.
Nothing.
All right.
Don't need to communicate anything beforehand.
Full down.
Yeah, you might want to check out the CAT ratings on the website that goes through all of this in detail. Lots of flights without flight following, some of them with flight following.
Aileron left. And aileron right.
Thanks.
And now what we're going to do is basically we're going to get ready to get out of here. Let's go check up top and make sure we're not missing anything else. We can put our flow to normal now, and then we can turn the APU bleed off. And we can
58, and I'm going to
turn the
go
APU off itself.
Or 15.5.
So the APU should be shutting down now that we turn the power off and turn that bleed off. And then everything else up top looks good because it's playing wonderful. And again, I'm paranoid, so let's check Lima one more time since we've been sitting here.
Contact departure, have a good night.
Contact departure 945 Delta Mike, thanks.
TBI ATM 7185 Charlie, Medford Tower, runway 14, cleared to land, wind 200 at tree.
Runway 14, head to land, 85.
Let's see, we need to change the, it's not coming in because I already switched it over, so let's change it back to the ATIS.
Visibility 10. Few clouds at 9 or 1,000. Few clouds at 15,000. Ceiling 18,000 broken. Temperature 1. Dew point -7. Altimeter 3007. Arriving runway 34 left.
Just want to make sure it's
right.
still Lima before I call for ground.
35 right. Departing runways 34 right. 35 left. 258. Visual approach is in use. ILS runway 34 left. Runway 34 right. Runway 35 left. And runway 35 right approach in use. Multiple Arnav Zulu approaches in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading. Flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Lima.
Alright, Lima's still current.
Set 404 Foxtrot Romeo, Centennial Tower, runway 35 right, line up and wait, awaiting IFR release.
Line up and wait, Sky 4 Foxtrot Romeo.
Denver ground, Frontier 318, information Lima, ready to taxi. Alright, let's see what runway he gives us. Hopefully it's 34 right.
Frontier 318, Denver ground, Roger. Would you prefer 34 right, 34 left, or runway 25?
34 right will be perfect for us.
Frontier 318, runway 34 right, taxi via Alpha Alpha Golf, Foxtrot 1, and that'll do it.
Okay, thanks for giving us 34 right. We'll taxi Alpha Alpha Golf, Foxtrot 1, Frontier 318. Alright, so now, here's what we have to do. Now that that is the runway that I had programmed, so that was nice enough for him to
ground, November
offer us that.
Alpha Tango, ready to
So
taxi.
now here's what we do. We go to aircraft configuration. We're going to select that we are doing flaps 2. And here's our V speeds and our run roll slope and our flex temp. So flex temp is 55.
Tree taxi Alpha.
And
33 via Alpha Baron 229 Alpha.
DN01. So down 01, of course. And what else information needs? 150 and 152. So that's no problem there. Well, actually, it is a problem. Let me double check before I try to commit that to memory. Let's come back over here and do flaps 2 150s and then 152. Gotcha. Alright, let's program that in now. So the way we do that, we come over here and we're going to go to our perf. And it's going to be 150 for that one, 150 for this one, and then we said 152. And then of course now we need to do 2/ and we're going to do down, and it was 0.1, 0.1. That should take it here. Alright, and then our flex temp is 55. Not that we're doing a flex takeoff, but if we were, there it is right there. So now we have our takeoff all squared away. Let's go over to the first officer side and come down here now. We'll keep the first officer side on the flight plan and then go from there.
Tower, Walker 462, establish
all right, we've got our,
ILS,
and now we need to come over here and add our flight level in of 230. That's the top altitude. Now we can go ahead and come down here. We have our flap set. Now we can come over here and do a takeoff configuration check.
At 10, runway 14, cleared one.
Takeoff configuration is normal. Let's get out of here, folks.
Clear to land.
All right, let's come up here and go ahead and put those taxi lights on.
469, correction, runway 19.
Taxi light is on, and we'll do the runway turn off flight.
Yeah, runway 19, clear to land. Walker 462.
And now all we essentially need to do is taxi to the left. That's why I pushed back straight, but again, we did get what we want, so we're just going to go Alpha Golf to Foxtrot 1. Let's see, no, actually Alpha Golf is what will take all the way up to Foxtrot 1. No worries. Okay, flaps are set, everything is ready to go. You can see our light reflecting off the building there, which is pretty cool. And I believe we are set up for success. Let's go ahead and get that parking brake released. Parking brake is released. First flight here is hey Chief Sim Pilot, hey Lonnie, how you doing? Hope you guys are going to enjoy this. We're going to Albuquerque, then on to El Paso, so now we're already rolling. So welcome aboard Chief Sim Pilot and Lonnie. and my family, wife, kids, everybody, thanks for checking in. Hopefully we have a seamless flight here.
Foxtrot Romeo, contact Denver departure. Good day.
All right, so Alpha Alpha.
Over to departure.
Which is what we're on, and then we're going to go to Golf and up to Foxtrot 1. All right. I actually like flying this little A319. It's very enjoyable to fly from Tolis. I actually have the JAR Design A320. I don't fly it just because I do not like the way that thing handles on approach. Basically, the approach
ready for departure.
killed it when they made that aircraft. I don't know if they've updated the flight systems yet, but man, that fly-by-wire on approach is just so hectic. But this one, they did a great job. The aircraft responds as it really would, so that's a good thing. Again, I hope everybody's doing well out there, and thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we have some great landings today, but either way, today will be a great day for flying. It's the weekend, and I'm excited to do a little bit more flying here. All right, Alpha Alpha. Slow our roll down a little bit. Now we need to slide over here really quick. Let's see here. Let me slow my roll. Okay, Golf is the next one coming up.
Tower DBM A5 Charlie is off at Alpha 5.
All right. So this was the most. Some of these airports get tricky on the taxiways.
TBM 7185 at Charlie. Roger, ready,
all right.
The General Aviation Park.
We'll see later once we get in there if I can get that map light on, because again it's super dark. All right.
85 Charlie, taxi to ramp via Alpha Charlie 2, monitor ground, point 8.
Ramp via Alpha Charlie 2, 85 Charlie, monitor ground, point 8.
And I have the flex temp taken in, but we're just going to do Togo. Again, welcome on board, guys. We're taking off, so next we're looking for Foxtrot 1. Once we get up in the air, we'll get some tunes going on again. All right. So, again, we're able to climb up to flight level 230. We'll be expecting to cross the waypoint Skaggs at above flight level 180. There's Charlie. Okay, we got the next one should be Foxtrot 1 coming up here.
Down 9 Alpha Tango, contact departure, have a good flight.
Go to departure, 9 Alpha Tango, thanks.
Alright. See what we get here. Here is Foxtrot 1. So now we're slow our roll up slightly. Alright. This is Foxtrot 1, and this is the base of runway 34 right. We'll get here and do a quick stop. So here's 34 right. Alright. Parking brake is set. Now we can come down here to the radio stack, of course, and let's switch this over. Now we can also put that 1261 in there, which I have programmed on the other side, but you guys know how I like to do it. 126.1. Vámonos pues, vámonos pues. Alright. Boom, there we go. Let me check you guys on the chat really quick. Again, let's also get the cockpit door locked. Cockpit door is locked. We don't want anybody coming in trying to take the aircraft over. Alright, floodlight, I know there's a map light somewhere. Let's see here. I know there's a light to illuminate under here, but that's okay. Denver Tower, Frontier 318, holding short runway 34 right, ready for departure.
Frontier 318, you're still actually on Denver clearance.
I apologize for that. I'll switch over for Frontier 318. Alright.
Vauxhall 62, thanks, ramp via Alpha
and 118.75, so that is my mistake. I don't know why I thought I put in the tower, but you see how they check you really quick. Tower for 34 right is, let's see, 34 left, 34 right. Okay, 35.3.
44117, 90,000, the airport, 12 o'clock, 20 miles.
35.3.
441 clears approach, runway 34 right, 5 miles, final contact tower.
Alright, looks like they switched controllers. Maybe it was for lunch break. Somebody filled in. Alright, 135.3.
The 4 o'clock shot runway appears
there we are. Looks like they're breaking up. Just trying to let them finish their transmissions there. Alright, 1353. Let's double check that. Everything got quiet. 1353. Denver Tower, Frontier 318, holding short runway 34 right, ready for departure.
Frontier 318, Denver Tower, wind 060 at 10, runway 34 right, clear for takeoff.
34 right, clear for takeoff, Frontier 318. Alright folks, let's go make this money. So now we're going to go ahead and get our landing lights on, of course, all the way up. Boom, boom. That, and we need to get our strobes on, and we're going to get the strobes all the way on. And let's go ahead and release that parking brake. Parking brake is released, of course. Alright, here we go, folks. Final looks clear. We don't see any inbound aircraft, and the runway looks clear. That's all good news for us. Alright, getting ready to hit this runway. We hit our timer. We hit the chrono. Come on. There we go. Don't know why she stopped there. I must have tapped the brake on accident, which of course wouldn't happen in real life. It's a button on a joystick, so. Alright, let's line ourselves up appropriately. And let me hit that chrono switch again. There we go. Togo. Just keep center line. I'm throwing in some left rudder. She's pulling to the right. Left rudder still. Coming up on V1. V1 and rotate. Positive rate. Landing gear is coming up. Alright, let's fly it here. Now we can come over here and get that autopilot on. Autopilot is on. Alright, going to climb.
Frontier 318, contact departure. Have a good night.
Over to departure, Frontier 318. Alright, and over to departure.
Just because of the Charlie, yes, because of the Charlie airspace.
Go on one stage, flaps up.
Go ahead and let you loose if you like.
And let's come up here and get those runway turnout lights off and the nose gear off. Denver departure, Frontier 318 is 8,000 climbing via SID. Next stage flaps up here in a second.
441 Tower, looking for you.
Alright, so we're staying
on
our heading here.
If you're departing, that is true, that by default, when you're departing, you're not receiving flights only unless you request it. If you depart a Bravo or Charlie airspace, Bravo or Charlie airport, you're automatically going to receive radar services due to the airspace.
Alright, let's get our
so then the controller would cancel.
spoilers disarmed.
I was understanding that you were looking for flight policy, so that was a misunderstanding on this
Landing
side.
lights will be on to 10,000.
But do you want me to go ahead and cancel your radar services at this time?
Alright, folks, and we have a nice little takeoff.
Tango, Roger, radar services are terminated. Squawk V-Fire and frequency change is approved. Have a safe flight.
Nice farm fields here in the Denver area. Then we'll make ourselves known again.
P-Mount 4715, turn left direct Sammy. There should be a left turn direct Sammy.
We can go with our landing lights off now. Landing lights are off and clean. Alright.
Frontier Flight 318, number departure, did you check in?
I did check in. I think I might have got stepped on, so Frontier 318 is 11,500 climb in via SID.
Frontier Flight 318, Denver departure, radar contact.
Alright, so we're just going to continue to climb until she gives us direct to our course. You can see the aircraft has picked up speed right now, and we're continuing to climb at 33.
Frontier Flight 318, turn left direct Lynn. Join the departure. We'll climb via SID.
Left direct Lynn, join the departure and climb via SID, Frontier 318. Alright, so now we're going to come here and we're going to go into our direct. And she said go direct to Lynn.
Yeah, 6110, thank you.
So I need to find out what Lynn is. Okay, first of all, let's take a look on our, because sometimes they call out by name.
120 Albuquerque Center, good evening. Descend via Hydro 1 arrival, east transition, Phoenix altimeter 2996.
She said Skaggs, Frankie, no, turn left, direct wind. Let me look at my SID here.
On the altimeter 2996.
Alright, if we took off north.
P-Mount 4715, contact Cascade approach 124.3.
Okay, Lynn, L-E-N-N, that's not even on our departure. So let's just do a left turn, because that's not even on our departure. That wasn't even part of our plan. So let me pull this out. Yep, but we're going to continue to climb. Again, flaps are all the way up. Now what we have to do is we have to come to the flight plan. And now what we're going to do is just program this in right here. Lynn is L-E. We're going to insert.
P-Mount 4715, Cascade approach, Medford altimeter 3035. Understand you have Papa, safe picture class.
Oh, let's return. You know what? Let's see. Let's just see if we can do direct now. And then we'll choose Lynn. Insert. Now we're going to go direct Lynn. You guys see that? So even though it's in giving you a problem, you have to learn how to manage your aircraft appropriately.
Cleared, ILS, correction, cleared straight in, ILS runway 14 approach.
So now we're going to go direct left Lynn, which is 38.1 nautical miles. So that's why you can never panic. That's why you have to have your charts handy, because that wasn't part of our departure. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. While we're making this turn. So if you look here, our narrative for us departing was for us to climb heading 353 to 594, then on heading 353, or as assigned by ATC, expect vectors to cross Skaggs. Okay, so here's Skaggs way down here. She gave me Lynn. It wasn't even programmed in, but you got to know how to find it, and we did that. So yeah. Okay, aircraft is slowing down a little bit. So we'll let it do that. And then there's Lynn right there. So once we get direct Lynn, Once we get close enough there, then we'll direct SCAGs right after that. Well, and if she's saying Lynn Tickler, yeah, that's not part of our. That's not part of our departure.
Center 127.02.
2702, Frontier 318. All right, 2702, folks. So 2702, 2702. A lot going on here. 2702. Let's see what the aircraft is doing. Now it's still slowing some speed down because it's trying to program for wind. So just got to make sure what it's doing there. Denver Center, Frontier 318, direct Lynn and flight level 230.
Frontier Flight 318, Denver Center, common, maintain flight level 320.
Up to flight level 320 for Frontier 318. Alright, so now we're direct Lynn and we're going to go up to flight level 380, or 320, I'm sorry. Now we can pull that out. The aircraft will start pitching up now. You can hear those engines kicking in. And then after Lynn, if we wanted to type in Ceros, so even after Lynn, we can type in C-I-R-O-S for Ceros. And that'll kind of keep us on the departure, which I think she's expecting us to be at. So we'll enter that. As you can see, Ceros. So Lynn and Ceros. Then after Ceros, we'll do RKYMT. So we're kind of doing stuff here on the fly. So let's do that. So let's do RKYMT. So RKYMT. Boom. And we'll insert that. And then Con RD. Con RD. So we're just modifying the approach because I don't want her saying that we're not following what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, Con RD. And then after that, it's going to be SCAG. So let's go ahead and insert all that. Let's go ahead and check our map. And you can see we're making it happen. And then now we should be able to go down here and do SCAGs as well. Fix this computer over here. All right, so we're not doing too bad. A pretty busy departure. All right, now let's go back here and see if we can. Let's see now if we can clear this. Let's make sure it looks good, and it does. And then we're going to insert that. Now we have a fluid departure, folks, and it's right on. So that was a little bit more work than I thought it would be.
Alaska 696 contact, Salt Lake Center 135.77.
But we made it happen, folks. We had to program it on the fly with no first officer. All right, let's go ahead. It's been flashing at me put this in standard. That's in standard. Now we have to make sure this goes to standard.
Salt Lake Center, good evening, Alaska 696.
And we're doing good. Now let's come down here once again and look at our, let's see, 273, 273. Alright, so it's got everything in terms of the speed at 273. Of course, once we get up to a certain cruise altitude, I can change that. I can come over here to perf and essentially I could change this, but we're going to get up to Mach 0.82, so that's fine. Right now it won't reflect that speed because we're lower, but once we get up higher, this Mach number is going to go up because the higher we get, even though the indicated airspeed will stay the same, we're actually going faster and our Mach number will come up. We're climbing right now at 1,300 feet per minute. There's going to be the top of our climb, of course. And we are rolling, or I should say flying. Let's do a double check here. All right, this is in the normal position. The spoilers are disarmed. The auto brake is off. Seatbelt smoking. Nothing else to worry about. All right, let's make sure our volumes are turned all the way up, and we'll get some music going here in a second. Let's go check you guys out in the back cabin if you decided to not be the first officer and just a passenger. You can see that strobe light blinking. Now, the only thing I will say is that Tolis, inside of this cabin, they could have done a better job with the textures, in my opinion, especially like right around here, like this. But I'm not complaining because I do enjoy flying this aircraft. But I'm just saying, you know, this is the part that they can do a little bit better job with for the full immersion. But nonetheless, at least we do have a cabin. All right, aircraft is making that nice right turn there. Again, once we get into Albuquerque, it'll be a really quick turnaround. We'll throw some more fuel on the plane and get everything set up to get over to El Paso, which will be a short flight as well.
128.65.
This flight here is not going to take us that long. We're already 13 minutes into a 50-minute flight, so
6110, contact Seattle Center 135.15.
we should be good to go.
135.15.
See if we can get some jams back on now, as long as we can hear them appropriately, of course.
Paso 120, Phoenix approach, Phoenix altimeter 2996, thanks for the hotel, expect left runway 8 approach.
Alright, everybody, again, thanks for checking us out here. We are rolling, and finally up in the air, so hopefully we have no problems.
6110, Seattle Center, thank you. Piedmont 4715, Medford Tower, runway 14, clear to land.
See that aircraft straightening out there? And we're up and at them, guys. We are up and at them. Now, here in a second, we'll get the ATIS.
Oscar 120, clear to left, runway 8 approach. Report established, both weather.
We're going to get the ATIS into the Albuquerque area. I just assume, based off the current winds at the time that I did all the flight plan following, that it was landing north, which that'd be runway 3. So we'll check that out really quick. Let me show you guys where we're at. So this is my Navigraph, and I do have it where it can show where the aircraft is at moving, so you can see we're pretty much here on course. And then we're going to make a heading 189 once we get to Skaggs, which will be pretty much at our cruising altitude. And then we're on to Frankie, and then on to Suds, and we're out of here. So here in a second, we'll start getting our planning going for our next arrival. Again, welcome everybody on board this Frontier Flight 318, full service to El Paso with a stop in Albuquerque. I'm texting and flying right now. All right. Putting in my Subway order in case if anybody's wondering. My family's out and they're asking me what I want from Subway. Eat fresh. All right. So we're just rolling along. All right, we are doing good. All right, sorry about that. A little texting and flying going on here. No big worries. Aircraft is doing its thing. All right, just texting my daughter, just making sure daddy's gonna eat. Always need that nourishment on flying Saturday on the birthday weekend, right? On that birthday weekend. All right, here we go. Albuquerque, here we come. All right, the aircraft is at our cruising altitude of flight level 320. So now let's come and look and see how much we have until our top of descent. If we come over here to perf even, we'll get more of that. So top of descent's in 145 nautical miles. So not much to cruise, folks. Not much to cruise. Back over here to the flight plan. And then here in a second, we are most certainly going to be checking out our arrival information and the winds and all that good stuff at Albuquerque. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and work on getting the actual chart up for Albuquerque. And we are arriving on the Sandia 4, the Watermelon 4. That's where we're coming in. But let me check a look at these runways really quick. And I said runway 3, but it looks like also runway 8 and 26 is a major runway. Let's come here and check out which runway we selected. I selected 3, but I think that's almost too ridiculous. I mean, we could land on runway 3. It's 10,000 feet. So there's no worries there. But we can also change that to runway 8. Which, to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of approaches for the Albuquerque area that are precision. And I'm going to show you exactly what... Oh, there's an ILS for 8 and there's an ILS for 3. But not 26. So either 8 or 3 is fine with us. This is the orientation of the field there. So if you take a look at the runway we have programmed, 10,000 feet is more than enough runway. San Diego's runway is less than this. It's in the 9,000 feet. Of course, here's runway 8. So even if we switch it over to runway 8, that'd be copacetic for me, and there's an ILS for that as well. But we'll make that determination here in a second so that we don't get ourselves in any trouble. The ATIS, well, let me check the SID, or I'm sorry, the STAR, the Standard Terminal Arrival Sandia 4. Sometimes I have a different ATIS frequency. This one is 118.0, which is a little different. So now we can come back over here, and we're going to put in 118.0. All right, so we're doing good. I'm gonna mute the microphone here really quick, and one of my kids is talking to me, so let me chat them up, and we'll continue our flight here. All right, so we are rolling right along, and we're doing good. So I'll be here on board. I'll be chatting my kids up. I'll be right back with you guys in 1 second. Until then, you guys continue to monitor the aircraft from this side, and then we'll get our planning phase in. So just give me a hot second, and your captain will be right back with you. You guys take over the plane for a hot second.
Pima 4715, taxi to parking via Alpha, and have a wonderful evening.
All right, just a quick step away. Multitasking with these kids. That's my job. That's how I roll. We can't sit still. We got to keep it interesting, baby. We got to keep it interesting all the time. All right, here in a second, potentially I'll do the same thing, put you guys back in charge. But until then, we do have the ATIS programmed in. We are rolling with some beautiful scenery here. Now, let's look for this map light. There's supposed to be like a light that can be illuminated from up there. So let me see. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. I don't know. It's not the dome. I don't think it's this one. So let me see here. All right, let's go back over to your side, and You guys are going to take care for just one more second. Again, kids come first. So your captain will be right back with you. You guys go ahead and handle it like you do, like you do.
After 120, thanks. Contact Phoenix Tower. After 120, Phoenix Tower, runway 8, clear to land. Wind 2, that is red high.
All right, we are still rolling. We are still rolling. Your captain didn't disappear. Let's go ahead and check and see how much we have to go. All right, 74 miles to go until we start descending. And let me look at the Sandia 3, or 4, I should say. And bottom descent is, let's see, 9,000. So let me just get this squared away in case she tells us to start descending. Now, one of my lovely children wants to be seen, even though she's got some wild hair. That's all right. Come on over, honey. She is intent on being in here. She wants to say hello to the world. There we go. Here's one of my gems. She says she wants to be on here. And here's another one of my little buddies. Come on over, buddy. There we go. There we go. Say hi, world.
Hi, world.
All right. There you go, guys. Thank you.
QT 915 to Springs Tower. Taking the distance from the field.
All right. All right. You guys see we got all types of people here in the cockpit, kids,
QT 915 Electric. Go ahead
cats
and
walking by.
approach on 124.0.
And we're still doing good.
Bravo or a Charlie Airport. You should be contacting approach first, and then the
You can see this little white line up here. That represents our top of descent. You guys want to see that a little closer? We can. It's right there. There's our top of descent, meaning that's when we are going to start descending. And before we actually officially get the ATIS, I am most certainly going to double check the weather in Albuquerque. All right. Weather in Albuquerque is it's at 330 degrees, which is still northeast, and Oh, I'm sorry, it's more northwest actually. It's not at the 360 mark yet, so I'm still assuming we'll land on runway 03, which will be fine with me. But we'll see what we get. There we go.
Alpha Tango Springs approach clock 1464 down.
All right. Tower frequency there is 120.3. Let me write that down. Frequency is 120.3. So what I'm going to do now is to stay ahead of the aircraft once again. Let's come down here. Now that's the ATIS, but now we'll put in the actual runway or tower frequency. Alright, 120.3. Now we even have our tower frequency in just in case we need to use that. Alright, we're doing good. Thanks for watching the stream. Thanks everybody for checking in. We are doing well here on the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel for now. We're multitasking. We're not getting in too much trouble today with the ATC other than being on the wrong frequency before we hit the runway. We were still on clearance. We should have been on tower frequency, but other than that, we're not getting in.
How do we see the ident? Try again.
Alright. Doing good here. Rolling right.
Control via Alpha, correction via Charlie, and have a wonderful night.
Alright. Welcome back, Chief Sim Pilot. Always supporting, always there. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and look at our mileage to top of descent. Alright.
There is a common glitch for Microsoft and Prepared. You might have to do it through the client.
Right.
Otherwise, if you give me your heading
data
and your distance from
and that's just referencing the barometric pressure and all that good stuff. So again, if we come back over here to Perf, we got 34 nautical miles until we are supposed to start descending. Hopefully we get our descent on time. How you doing today, Chief Sim Pilot? You doing any streams today? That's my man who'll be handling the aircraft too. Enjoyed watching your last stream. You landed in Phoenix, I think.
And it's you're west of the airport.
Alright. Alright, let's switch this jam.
Sorry, I'm taking a Roger. Go back on the troubleshooting. Have a good night. Correction. Frontier Flight, contact, correction, Frontier Flight 318, contact Albuquerque Center, 134.6.
Albuquerque Center, 134.6, Frontier 318. Alright, 134.6, coming on in.
Alaska 696, we'd like to step away for about 5 minutes.
Who was looking to step away for 5 minutes?
Alaska 696.
Alaska 696 approved. Let me know when you're back, please.
Welcome.
Albuquerque Center, Frontier 318, checking in, flight level 320.
Frontier Flight 318, Albuquerque Center, descend via Sandia 4, arrival, report leader flight level 270.
Okay, descend via the Sandia 4 arrival, and we'll let you know when we're descending out of flight level 320 for Frontier 318.
Report leaving flight level 270. It would be an additional report to your leaving cruise altitude.
Okay, correction, we will advise when we are leaving flight level 270, Frontier 318. Alright.
757, correction, November 752, right, Seattle Center.
So we need to let her know we're leaving flight level 320, so now we can most certainly descend as we're supposed to. So we got it, and we have to be paying attention to make sure that we actually indicate or notify her when we're leaving flight level 270. So you can see here, I'll back this up a little bit.
To my far shot, showing you no route, Pin Cove and then 165. Is that the
we got
Victor
about 13
area you're looking
nautical
for?
miles till we start our descent. And once we get roughly close to E-Bide, between that and E-Bide is when we will actually indicate that. We got about 10 nautical miles until we start our descent.
Maintain 7,000. Departure frequency, Seattle Center 12,
And we're just going to come right over here and push it in.
Departure frequency with Seattle approach, 120.4.
And we'll be good to go. Good to go. What's everybody doing today on Saturday, this wonderful weekend prior to Martin Luther King Day and the inauguration here in the United States? If you're not in the United States, then let me know what's going on in your area. If you guys want to give a shout out, I'd like to hear from you guys. That way I don't do too much yip yapping. It's always easier to yip yap when I have you guys chat me up. So, but if not, I'll keep yip yapping. That's what I do. All right, let's check that here. We got about 3 nautical miles. All right, heathens were throwing stuff around here. Had to let them know, hey, don't throw stuff in here, man. What's wrong with you kids, man? You guys got me crazy. All right, we can go ahead and start our descent.
Correction, Monterey, altimeter 3011,
there we go. Now the aircraft is going to start its descent, as you see, and then we'll monitor flight level 270. All right, we are starting our descent here. All right, so I'll be shutting the music down here now for a minute. That way we can get the ATIS.
Cross wiggle.
We are starting our descent into the Albuquerque area. And again, we're going to be cognizant of when we've passed that flight level 270. In the meantime, let's go ahead and see if we can pick up that ATIS. Let's make sure we have that frequency in. It's hard to see. You almost have to get this view so you can see that side. So there's the ATIS is right there. We're fine there. Let's hit that.
Release to departure clearance void is not off in 3 minutes.
Altimeter 3012. Arriving and departing runway 32630. Visual approaches in use. VFR departures, contact, clearance, delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Foxtrot.
All right.
Albuquerque International Airport
is on board.
Information, Foxtrot. 0052 Zulu.
We are doing good.
320 at 11. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 2000. 2000 scattered. Temperature 11. Dew point -10. Altimeter 3012. Arriving and departing.
All right, 3012 is the altimeter.
Alaska 696 is back on frequency.
Alaska 696, thank you.
We are doing good. We are doing good. And we're almost going to be leaving.
13, contact Albuquerque Center 124.32.
Okay, going over to 124.32, and as you can see, we are leaving flight level 270. We'll see you. All right. So, not that she needed that, but I was all ready to...
Center 7 Kilo Papa, establish localizer, contact Monterey.
All right, let's go to 124.32.
Just confirm establish localizer.
Albuquerque Center, Frontier 318, flight level 261, descending via the Sandia 4.
Frontier Flight 318, Albuquerque Center, Albuquerque, altimeter 3012, landing west and runway 3. So, through runway 3, runway 26, runway 30 are all in use.
Okay, roger that. We have Foxtrot on board, the altimeter 3012, and we'll be landing west, runway 03, Frontier 318. Alright, so we already had that all programmed in.
Thank you. And
so now we can go ahead and put that arrival information in here. So if we go to the next phase, and we want to put the QNH, it's 30.12. Alright, 3012 is in there, and that's pretty much what we need. Right now we are in full landing configuration. So we're looking at V approach of 131 right now, so that's not bad. So we'll stick with that right now, and again we're in the landing full configuration right now, and it's already got a program ILS 03. So now I'm going to look at the
3006 for Sandia 4 stand by for
arrival. Boy, there's some yelling in the background there. Let's see what we got here. We're just descending now below flight level. Well, we're at 233, so 23,300 feet. Continuing our descent and working that magic. So now let me look at the approach. 9,000 for runway 3 from a side on track to Kristen. Expect approach radar vector runway 18 course. So let's make sure we have Kristen, and then after Kristen we'll be expecting radar vectors. So if we come over here to the flight plan, let's make sure we have a side and Kristen, and then from there
do you want to take the arc or do the procedure turn?
it's added another point in there, which still says it's the Sandia 3. Okay, it's actually not. So this Sandia 3 is the last one for Kristen. So from Kristen,
November 752 Mike Foxtrot, Seattle approach,
let's see, 3 radar vectors. So aside on track to Kristen. So after Kristen, we'll hold a track of 196 or 197. So we'll have to be cognizant to pull the heading mode out there in case she gives us vectors. But we already have our runway programmed in, and I'm just now going to double check the approach.
Radar contact 17 miles northeast of San Antonio.
Alright, and this of course is the
3037, climb maintain 7,000.
the initial fix, BBQ, so that'll make sense of how we're approaching it, but again, we still want to make sure we get vectors over there before we just go direct, because we don't do it that way. Got a letter of vectors there, but we all set up for success. And let's see here. Aircraft is bleeding some speed now. On our arrival, we most certainly need to right here. So here's where we are. Sandia, we're heading all the way down. Here we need to be at 270, and the next one is 250, then 210 at the last one. So let's make sure we're paying attention to that. So we're at 270, and then the next one, once we get to the next waypoint, actually the next waypoint, we at Volcano, not Sandia.
Stand by,
we should be at 250 speed, so we have to make sure we do that. So here at Volcano, you can see the aircraft wants to decrease speed there, and it'll be about a disparity of 20 knots, so we're no worries there. So everything is going good so far.
If you could vector me and 238 radio.
Once we get off on runway 3, we're going to have a peculiar taxi. So essentially, we can land and try to get Charlie right here. So we're going to try to get Charlie. That's our goal. If not, we'll come down and get Delta. So either way, that's good. And then we'll have from Charlie, we'll be crossing 2 runways. We'll cross runway 12 and then runway 8 to get to the terminal. And then we'll just pick a gate over here and do our quick turnaround. This real flight from Frontier, which is a different number, so it's not Frontier Flight 318, it's a different flight. Alright, we're going below 18, just arrived maybe like an hour ago. Alright, so now we can most certainly take that out of standard and go 3012. Let's go to the other side as well. Out of standard, 3012, now that we are below flight level 180. And then of course here, take this out of standard and one click. And all we need to do is really match it up. 17.5, 17.4. So it's maybe one click off. Alright, that's close enough. That's good enough for government work. Alright, now we're getting ready to start that decel and get ourselves on the ground, and then we will go for another quick turnaround so that we can get over to El Paso, which is a short flight. Alright, doing good. What I'm doing right now is I'm typing in the actual next airport so that we don't have to wait for that. It'll be still Frontier Flight 318, and then we're going to be doing service on over to El Paso. So I'm just getting my sim brief ready right now, and I'm going to pretty much let it do its thing. Route distance there is only going to be about 226 miles.
Thank you, Poppy. You can go ahead and switch to the tower. They look up for you.
Alright, folks. We should be getting ready to decrease speed here shortly. If the aircraft needs some help decreasing speed, then we will most certainly do that. We believe in providing assistance. Alright. Again, VA approach speed with full flaps is going to be 131, and then we can come here and also observe our flap extension speeds here. So we can extend flaps 1 until we get below 230. So on and so forth. Alright, and at a side, we're going to be at...
Flight 318, contact Albuquerque approach 127.4.
Albuquerque approach 27.4, Frontier 318. Alright, we're going over to approach 27.4. And once we get this in, we'll go ahead and type in our tower frequency. Alright, we are currently at 13,000. Albuquerque approach Frontier 318, 13,800, descending via the Sandia 4, and we do have information Foxtrot on board. Alright, always a little delay.
Frontier Flight 318, Albuquerque approach altimeter 3012. Thanks for Foxtrot. Understanding look for runway 30. Do you have approach request?
No, approach request. We can just do the ILS for 3 and take it that way. All right.
Frontier Flight 318, roger. After Kristen, fly heading 180, vector left runway 3 approach. And,
Okay, we'll fly heading 180 after Kristen for vectors to runway 3, and we appreciate it for Frontier 318. All right.
Oscar 696, contact Salt Lake Center, 123.72.
So after Kristen, we will fly heading of 180. So it'll be a slight left, so we'll pay attention to that.
6110, descend via Hawk 7 arrival.
And then, of course, at Kristen, that last waypoint, we are supposed to be at 210 knots.
Evening, descend Paso,
so we'll wait till we get to 9,000. And then after we get to 9,000, that is the bottom altitude on this approach. We will go ahead and most certainly take over the speed as well. All right,
Alaska 696, no further north than the 80 miles from Calypso.
All right. Moving right along. We're right at 2,000 mark. Let's go ahead and get our landing lights on. Let's get everything on. I like to make it a nice, bright arrival. There we go.
That's India Hawk 7 arrival.
Again, once we get to 9,000, I'll go ahead and get a bunch of things going here. And the good thing is here, the turn that we have going is basically to 185, which would be close enough. And if you extend the range here, that pretty much takes us direct on over to where we need to go anyway. But we'll do the 180 because we're rule followers. Alright, so all lights are on.
Taxi parking via Alpha 7 Kilo Papa.
We are at 9,000 feet. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take over the speed. We're at 246 and we need to go to 210.
United 6110, third call. Descend via Hawk 7
arrival. We're going to give it a little assistance here. I got the speed brakes open. You can see here that's down to the first point to help bleed that speed. Alright, now I'll close the speed brakes and arm it. Now it's armed for our arrival. Now we're at 210. We're not doing bad at all. So now we can go ahead and pull out the heading, and we're going to go heading 180. And there we go, folks. Now we go heading 180. And again, let's check that approach speed. Let's go to our perf. And we're going to go to next phase. We want activated. Approach speed is 131 with full flaps. And the VREF is 126 with a QNH or altimeter of 3012, folks. So let's see what happens here. We're going to be doing a left turn. So if you see our heading, we're going to be doing a left turn to a northwestern arrival. And let's go ahead and program in that tower frequency 12003. Just make sure that what it is. Tower frequency is 120.3. So now we can come here. to 0.3. There we go. And you can see we have a ways to go in order to hit this mark right here. So we're essentially traveling this way. My direct had us on a course to basically hit that. We could have followed that in the plane, would have did it fine. Let's say we didn't have ATC, but we do. So we'll stay at 9,000 for now. The first initial fix is at 8,000, so we're doing just fine on altitude. We are doing fine on altitude. Family's back and in action. This is all good. It's a great day when your family gets back home safe in these crazy times. Alright, folks, so we are on approach, if you're just joining the stream, into the Albuquerque area. We're just waiting to get our, basically we're almost downwind, if you will, and we're just waiting to get our final vectors and instructions so we can line up for runway 3 for full stop on this flight, which is the first leg into Albuquerque, and then we'll do a quick turnaround, and then we're up in the sky again over to El Paso, even shorter flight, and then we'll call it a day. So we'll stay here until we get our vectors. And again, this BibQ, if that's how you pronounce it, BibQ, is the initial fix, and that's where we basically need to be at 8,000. So she'll probably give us the instructions until the turn, especially since we're doing the ILS. Then we'll get that localizer armed and all that good stuff and put our landing system on here. In the meantime, we are doing good. Flying time so far has been 52 minutes. We're slightly late. It's supposed to be a 51-hour flight or 51-minute flight. And so we're right around the time, just with a few minutes late, getting in here to the Denver area. And the reason why that is because essentially when we took off, they had us flying on a northern heading from Denver, even though we had to turn south. So we flew on the heading of 353 for a while until we had to do that left turn to Lynn, and then on the rest of the course. So that was the disparity in the minutes here, but it is what it is. Safety first. So here shortly we should be getting a turn from our air traffic control. And we'll be down. All right, I'm just getting my taxi chart up there, ready to go. So we are most certainly past that turn. So now here we'll wait and see what we get, because she certainly could have turned us there. So we'll wait patiently. Let's make sure we didn't turn anything off down here. We got 1274. Everything is turned up, so we'll just be waiting on her. And sometimes, you know, the air traffic controllers, when you're flying on PilotEdge, which wouldn't be in the real life because you don't know who's on, and you're not, unless you're doing it quite frequently and you know you're flying a certain schedule. But at this point, this usually happens with her. She's always a little bit delayed.
So on to South Mike Oakland Center, thank you, descend via Circle 4 arrival.
So now that she's probably got reminded to talk to him, she's going to give us our turn and our descent.
Frontier Flight 318. Reduce to 210, turn left, heading 010, join the localizer.
Left 010, speed down to 210 to join the localizer, Frontier 318. Alright, left 010 to join the localizer, which is fine. Our speed is already 210. All the way over to 010.
Foxtrot Romeo, Roger, I lost you on radar there. Might have to disconnect or reconnect. Just let me know when you're established on the arc.
Alright, we're still doing 210, but I'm actually going to reduce that speed to 190 now. And we'll do a speed check, flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. She's got us going 010 heading. Again, we wasted fuel and time. I know this.
Frontier Flight 318, I have to turn you a little sharper and then I'll turn you back to the intercept. Fly heading 340.
Heading 340, Frontier 318.
Frontier Flight 318 is going to maintain 7,200.
Was that 7,200 for Flight 318?
Affirmative.
Okay, down to 7,400, Frontier 318. Alright, 7,400, and I knew it.
6110, contact
now I gotta get this turn like that. 400. Now we're gonna descend there and keep that speed. She's gonna probably give us another turn to get right on here. Again, she did that, like I'm always telling you guys, you cannot hit an ILS until you are less than 30 degrees. So she's gonna bring us up just a little bit, then turn us direct. So she'll make us another little turn here in a second. But again, I know her. She's a great air traffic controller. She's just delayed a lot a lot of the times.
Okay, 61, correction. United 6110,
so there you go.
Seattle Center,
and that's why I reduced my speed on my own.
Landing north.
Alright, let's go ahead and look at that. Speed check for flaps 2 is 200 knots. And we're just below that. So I'll stay right here for now. Until we go.
Frontier Flight 318, you are 3 miles from BizQ. Flight heading 010, maintain 7,200, so establish localizer, cleared ILS, runway 3 approach.
Okay, 010, direct BizQ. We'll maintain 7,200 until established on ILS 3, and we are clear for the ILS 3 approach, Frontier 318. Alright.
Mount 4 Foxtrot Romeo, clear VOR, runway 18 approach.
We got the localizer arm.
Approach course.
And let's see up here now. What other lights? Is this getting dark again? Let's go dim. And let's do that. Let's see what that does. Didn't do anything. Alright, oh well, it's just going to be a dark piece here. This is going to start moving here in a second.
Frontier Flight 318 at Texas, contact Albuquerque Tower.
Okay, at Texas, we'll go ahead and contact Albuquerque Tower, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, that localizer heading is on the move. Localizer is captured. Now we can go ahead and hit that approach button and let's reduce our speed down to 150 for now. Speed check, flaps 2 coming down. And at Texla, we'll go ahead and contact Albuquerque. So you guys can see the runway right there. And we have approach mode fixed in, so once the glide slope gets to where it needs to go, we will most certainly start heading on our way down. We are reducing speed. We can go speed check, flaps 3. Alright, what we got here? We'll do flaps to full, cabin landing gear is down, and we'll go ahead and drop that landing gear down now. Let's see how close we are. Alright. Landing gear is on the way down. Spoilers are armed, and let's get our speed brake to medium. And now let's get our approach speed of 131. And now we have our approach speed, of course. Alright, flaps are to full. If you guys are indicating here, they're in transit. Flaps are to full. Landing configuration has been achieved. And at Texla, we can go ahead and go over to tower. Alright, she's doing good. Albuquerque Tower, Frontier Flight 318, ILS 3.
Frontier 318, Albuquerque Tower, runway 3, clear to land.
Runway 3 cleared to land, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, we're doing good. You can see here the glide slope is on its way down. We have our approach speed of 131. And of course, we're just up. V approach is now 130, it's saying. No worries there. And all landing lights are on. Taxi light, runway turn off. Spoilers are armed. Gear is down with 3 green. Parking or auto brake is to medium, and landing lights are on, and everything is good to go. Alright folks, we're about to take it off autopilot and do what we do best. Autopilot is off.
2000.
Alright folks, here we go. Approach into the Albuquerque area. We got this. Hopefully. She's bouncing around slightly. Keep that speed. We're doing good. Alright, trimming her down slightly. There we go. She's bouncing around a little bit. All right. All right. She's doing a good job of trying to stay on the profile here. There's winds coming off. If you see, there's winds coming off our left side at 14. If you look at our multi-function display right in the middle where the map is at, you can see the winds are coming out at 333 at 14 knots. So we're getting a little push here, guys. But we're just going to do what we do best. Hopefully once we get a little lower.
1,000.
All right, 1,000. All right, let's go ahead and make this money. It's very windy, so I'm just looking for a great landing here. At this point, that wind is kicking us around. Whoa, drafty. Well, we're right on the instrumentation. All right.
500.
All right, man, she's windy. All right, guys. Let's bring her on in.
300. 200.
Glide slow.
All right.
Glide slow.
100.
It's that wind. Should have done a better crab.
40. 30. Retard. 10. 5.
All right, great landing. I knew it wouldn't be a butter. That wind was throwing us around, but we got it on. We didn't even do that great of a job doing center line, but that's okay. Reverse free, reverse free. Woo, that wind was kicking us around. There we go. All right. That was crazy. We're going to go down to, let's see. We can get off here. You always want to get off the runway as soon as possible. So we stopped way ahead of time. Woo! I mean, you know, that wind was throwing us around quite a bit. But we handled it. We still have a great landing, which I am okay with because I knew it wasn't going to be a butter. That wind was tossing us around like a rag doll. Let's clean up the aircraft. All right, set that parking brake. And let's clean everything up. And then we'll... All right, let's make sure those flaps are all the way up. And let's get those landing lights off. Welcome into Albuquerque, folks. We are going to most certainly be doing a quick turnaround. We're going to get our APU on. Albuquerque Tower, Frontier Flight 318, clear of runway 3. All right. We are on Foxtrot 1, so we'll probably have to take Foxtrot to Charlie.
Maybe ground 165, you can pop a radio check.
And again, thank you, honey, for saying great landing. Chief Sim Pilot, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, she's always delayed. You guys can see she's not on her game. So, you know, this other guy did a radio check because he probably said something.
Frontier Flight 318, taxi to parking via Foxtrot and remain this. Actually, are you going to the main terminal? Is that Alpha?
Yes, ma'am. We're going to the main terminal.
Frontier Flight 318, join Foxtrot to Charlie to Alpha, cross runway 30 at Foxtrot, hold short runway 8 at Charlie.
Okay, join Foxtrot to Charlie to Alpha at runway 30 on Foxtrot, cross it, hold short of runway 8 on Charlie for Frontier Flight 318. Alright, and we'll remain this frequency. So she came on, disappeared, and then gave us a complex, and I do mean absolutely complex parking or taxi instructions. That's okay though, guys. We're not scared. Welcome into Albuquerque Sunport. Thanks for everybody for staying on board. We're going to do another quick flip here. There'll be a quick turnaround. And then we're off to El Paso. Alright, so we can cross runway 30, but runway 8 we have to hold short. Alright, this is Foxtrot. Okay, and this is where we're going to cross this runway here on Foxtrot. When we get to runway 8, we'll hold short, and that's when she'll have us contact ground. That's what that's all about. Again, you got to pay attention. Alright, that runway looks clear. Okay, now we're getting ready to join Charlie. Again, guys, welcome it in to Albuquerque. We're not going to do a landing replay here. We'll do a landing replay on the last one. Look left and look as right as we can. Okay, now we're on Charlie. You guys can see the main terminal there. Very small airport, but it's got a lot of runways for a small airport.
Good evening, approach Citation 716 Delta Mike is flight level 17.
My wife and my family, we've all been to Albuquerque. Actually, I think last time we went to Albuquerque, my wife was driving. At that time, we had a Ford F-150. So that was fun times, pre-COVID, of course.
Frontier Flight 318, cross runway 26 at Charlie. Monitor ground on the other side and have a wonderful night.
Okay, we'll be crossing runway 26 at Charlie. We'll monitor ground. You have a great night as well, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, ground 1219.
3010 at Eddie, clear left runway 28 right approach.
And we don't have time to switch over. We'll switch over in a minute.
We'll expect.
Too much going on.
Station 716 Delta Mike.
Alright.
Stay out there one more time.
6 Delta Mike,
There's not going to be much to monitor anyway. We're just going to come into one of these gates real quick
San
here.
Francisco, altimeter 3010.
3010, Citation 716 Delta Mike.
All right. It's going to pull her in right here. Very small airport. I couldn't gather the correct gate anyway from FlightAware. It never said what gate this aircraft really pulls into, but no big deal. Now this next leg is a fictional leg. Frontier only does the route that I could see up until Albuquerque. El Paso is, I just wanted to do another leg, and that's another nice, I like flying into that airport. Reduce our approach speed, and let's go ahead and look outside. Got to make sure we don't go too fast. Alright, a little bit of abrupt stop on the Brizakes. And let's make sure, see it says off, but we need it on. There we go. Alright, let's go up top now. And the aircraft should automatically switch over because the APU is on. So now we can get the red beacon off. And we can also get the taxi light off, of course. And let us turn our transponder off. Transponder is off, and then of course we can essentially shut those bad boys down. You can see it just switched on over, and we are turning those engines off. So I tell you what, guys, let us who wants to see a replay? Impressive. I know about windy conditions. You did it flawless. Oh, thank you so much, Chief Sim Pilot. Do you guys want to see a replay now? We can try to do it, and if it messes up, we won't do the next leg, or I say we just do the replay at the next leg. Otherwise, it'll mess up. I'm so paranoid about the sim messing up. So we got the aircraft off, of course, and now we need to essentially, we won't need to disconnect. We're not going to do any stuff. We have that off. Okay, now we do need to get that ground power off so we can save our APU. So in order to do that, we have to come over here to this display. And ground services, we do want that external power, and there it is right there. Boom. Now we can go up top, and the external power is available, so we can essentially turn that off. And now we can turn the APU off and save that fuel, and start getting the aircraft turned around. You guys know what's coming next. You guys know exactly what I'm about to do. There we go. All right. Welcome it in. We can turn her off for now. We don't need that. We don't want that. Because now it's time to most certainly get ready for a nice little turnaround so that we can get out of here. And hopefully it's not windy in El Paso. All right. Let's go ahead and open up the doors. So we got to go back to the plug-in here. And we will open up door 1. We'll open that, and then the cargo will open that. We'll open that, and we'll do, it never works that well in this aircraft, but we'll do Control S for ground services.
Okay, I'll send the truck.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this moving. Before we do anything else, we need to look and see what our flight plan says. All right, flight plan says we need 12,395 pounds of fuel. which I need to go do something really quick. I need to turn that to kilograms because this aircraft likes to do it in kilograms because it's born and made in France, I believe. I'm pretty sure there's different places where this aircraft is put together, but it's a French aircraft, and they do definitely use the metric system over there. The United States, we're the only hard-headeds don't do that. Okay, so we're going to be flight level 290, airtime 39 minutes, and we need 5,623 pounds of fuel on board. So again, we got to go back to this rusty dusty plug-in, and we're going to go to aircraft configuration, and we now need to put in 5623 on the fuel. So we'll do 59 because I always like to do a little something. And we'll have the same center of gravity, 72 passengers on there. Let's up that. We're getting a few more passengers on there. So that'll be fine. We'll do 80. We'll leave everything else. Let's apply these settings and apply the fuel. And now we can just go ahead and get the aircraft programmed in, and we'll get the ATIS again and see what the departing runways are. Let's check the fuel. Now we got 5,900 kilograms of fuel on there, so we are absolutely cooking with Crisco for this quick turnaround. Now we're going to come over here to the flight plan, or actually we're not even going to do that. We go to the initialization, and AB to the Q/Kelp is the El Paso Airport. Boom, flight number once again, Frontier flight 318, and again, that was a great landing even with that wind. We're doing a cost index of 41, and it says we are doing flight level 290 on this short leg. Booyah. Now we can go right into the flight plan, and we'll be departing on the MN-Z03. So with that being said, let's go ahead and actually get the ATIS. So let's see here. ATIS is 118.0.
26. Visual approaches and use VFR departures, contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Golf.
So we got Golf.
Albuquerque International Airport. ATIS information Golf. 0152 Zulu. Wind 340 at 7. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 22,000. Temperature 9er. Dew point -9er. Altimeter 3015. Arriving and departing runways 326. Visual approaches and use VFR departures, contact clearance delivery.
Right,
advise
so
on course heading,
again, that's
altitude,
what we plan on.
and if it follows.
And it's information Golf, 9 degrees Celsius outside, and the altimeter is 3015. So let's get that squared up now. 3015. 3015. There we go. And now we can essentially come in here and start doing our planning. All right. Oh, there goes my mouse doing its thing. All right. Departure runway 3. And of course we're doing a SID. We're doing the MZO N3, and the it's OMN is the actual transition. 3 MNZO3. I don't know how to pronounce it. Mountains 3 maybe. Boom. That's in there now. And then of course after ONM we're going direct TCS. Tango Charlie Sierra. And then after TCS, we're doing rudder, or rooter. That's Romeo Uniform Tango Echo Romeo. There's rooter, and then from rooter, we're going to go direct ELP, which is the VOR, El Paso VOR. And then from there, we hit the runway. Let me look and see what the actual winds are doing over there, so we can try to forecast a runway, of course. So we're going to go Kelp up here. Thanks for everybody staying on board. We're going to be out of here in a second, so we can do this very, very short hop on over. The winds are basically the same thing. Northwest, they're at a 340 at 5 knots. So now I'm going to check what runways we have at Kelp or El Paso. All right, doing well. We are doing well. Let's see here. Taxi. So northern runways at El Paso are So there's same thing here. There's 3 runways really that we're going to look at here. So if you look here, this is the biggest runway. That's probably the most used, and based off of the winds, we're going to plan on runway 4. So we'll essentially come up and do a back taxi, and then let's look at those approaches that are available. So we got ILS, we got a localizer. It's not ILS, it's a localizer. We do have an ILS for the opposite end of the runway. So we're going to plan on runway 4 for our arrival. And if we look at that approach from runway 4 on the arrival, Kantar right here would be one, or Ikogi, but we'll do Kantar. So let's plan on that ILS 4. So let's go here now to the destination, to the arrival, and we're planning on the localizer 4, and the stars available. We're not doing a star, so no star, and then we'll just go Canter, and then we'll insert that. And now that's still going to give us this flight discontinuity, but if it's that runway, that's okay, because you guys remember, once we get to ELP, she's going to vector us anyway. So I'm okay with this, folks. And let me just look at this departure for Albuquerque, so I can share that with you guys, and then we'll get our better pushback and we'll get out of here. Alright, here we are. Here's the departure. If we're leaving on the northern runway, we're going to come up here, flip around, and come right on down, so the aircraft can handle all of this time. So we're going to be going autopilot super quick, because we need to save our creative flight stick juices for when we land. You know what I'm saying? If we can get autopilot on quick once we take off, let's do it. I'm not mad at it whatsoever. So we don't have anything specific here that we need to worry about. Let's read the narrative for it. Climb heading 034 to 6000, then right turn direct to Del Sol. Then on track 173. So all the aircraft's going to do that. There is no vectors. The aircraft's going to do it. The last departure required us to be vectored and didn't get a heading so that we could go over to our departure. But this one, we don't have to do that. And then we also want to see the top altitude on this departure is flight level 200 or 20,000 feet. So, having said that, the most important thing that we can do right now is go ahead and get our clearance, but let us bring this up to where we are doing 200, so we don't forget that. And then we need to push this in so the aircraft knows that, well, the speed, we're not worried about that. This will be done anyway. Once we take off, this will disappear, so don't worry about that. And everything else is good. Let's go ahead and do our better pushback. So we need to come up here now and plan that, and then once we're done planning, we can go ahead and get out of here. So essentially, better pushback. Essentially, we just need to see if the aircraft can get a nice little turn here. Alright, we'll stay out of all the little driveways of the vehicles.
Ground to cockpit.
Boom!
Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright, everything here is ready to go. Let us go ahead and button up the doors before I forget that piece. So aircraft is all done there, so now we can come over here and button up all the doors. Let's close that. Let's close that. And let's close that. Let's make sure they're adhering to what we need them to do on the outside. Let's make sure the aircraft is all closed and cleaned up. And you can see the baggage cart was there, and you can see the doors just now getting closed. Just now got buttoned up. We got our everything on. Looks like the baggage cart did come, so maybe it did work for once. And now the only thing to do is shut the music off, and let's get our clearance. Alright, now it's time to get back to work, folks. We're going to go over here to Albuquerque clearance, which is 19.2. So let's come over here to 19.2 and get that in for this turnaround. 19 and 2, that's going to be clearance, and then ground 1219. That's the ground, and then we'll worry about departure after that, and the tower frequency, of course. And the tower frequency is 120.3. So I had this wrong over here anyway. It was supposed to be not 03, but 0.3. So that'll be our tower frequency, which is in there. We already have the ATIS, but we don't need that. So now we just need to turn her back on. Actually, I lied. You guys almost let me forget to do one thing. Shame on us. We need to go file our new flight plan. So here's the new flight plan. So we're going over from Albuquerque now to Kelp. And let me simply come over here and copy and paste our flight plan. I got to get rid of some directs because it automatically populated with those directs in there. Paste. Paste. All right. Let's see. Direct. And one more direct. We need to get rid of that. There we go. That's looking good. We're doing flight level 29000. And the alternate is, well, believe it or not, the alternate's right where we're at now. That's how short this route is, my peeps. So, and again, flying time here is only 39 minutos, 39 minutes. Let's re-verify this. A319 Albuquerque, El Paso. Here is our route. Here's our altitude of 29,000 feet. 450 on the true airspeed. Albuquerque as an alternate. No remarks. En route hour 0, 39 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes of fuel. Booyah. Consider it filed. Consider it filed. Here we go. Now we can get her turned back on.
6,000, cleared, V1, runway 18 approach, and report that inbound procedure train.
And let me make sure I did have that right. Departure clearance frequency is 19.2. And we have 19.2. Perfect. Albuquerque clearance, Frontier Flight 318, IFR to El Paso. All right. So she's looking at that now. We know she's delayed, but a great air traffic controller, but just takes a little bit longer to get back to us.
Frontier Flight 318, Albuquerque clearance, clear to El Paso Airport. Bosky 3 departure. Socorro transition. Direct Tango Charlie Sierra as filed. Climb via SID. Expect flight level 29010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 123.9er and squawk 7214.
Alright, let's just make sure. Now we're going to give her a delay because I don't think that's the same. Okay, clearance, Frontier Flight 318. Am I understanding that my departure has been changed to the Bosque 3?
Bosque 3, affirmative.
Okay, can you give me that transition, ma'am?
Socorro, Oscar November Mike, VOR.
Okay. Okay, so we'll switch it over to the Bosque 3 with the transition of Oscar November Mike, and then as filed, climb via SID. Expect flight level 29010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 123.9, squawking 7214 for Frontier Flight 318.
Frontier Flight 318, read that correct. And just confirm, the flight plan came through with nothing on the route, so just want to confirm you filed Tango Charlie Sierra Router, direct El Paso.
Oh, Roger, yeah, we filed it with the Menzo 3. That's why I was surprised about the departure of the Menzo 3 with the same transition. So would you like me to refile that again and make sure it comes through?
Frontier Flight 318, no need to file. I just switch it for you. Change Bosque 3 departure to Menzo 3. To read Menzo 3 departure. Socorro transition. Rest of the clearance is unchanged.
Okay, thanks a lot, Clarence, and appreciate all your help for Frontier Flight 318. Alright, so...
Frontier Flight 318, read that correct. You expect runway 3.
Okay, we'll be expecting 3 for Frontier Flight 318.
Alright,
so you guys see it. It happened here. We filed it. She did get a flight plan. We don't know why that didn't come in, but we just go like this. No big deal to us. So let's make those changes. Let's get her shut down for a second, and let's make those changes. So now, in order to do that, all we need to do is come back over here to departure, and we stay with this runway. And if we want to go over and figure out the SIDs, let's see. So we're going to hit runway 3 again. And boom, boom, boom. Now we're doing a... This is interesting. Okay, the Bosque 3 is what she is saying to do. And I have the Bosque 3, but it doesn't. There's not even a Bosque 3 right here. That doesn't even give us an option. Let's see here. So it's always something interesting that happens to us. Let's see. Let's erase that. Okay, now let's go to 3. And it says no SIDs are available. I mean, SIDs are available, but it's not the Bosque 3, which is what she gave us. And I'm just going to have to tell her the Bosque 3 here doesn't even... So I think she made an error, which I'm going to have to catch her on. So the Bosque 3 is not even for runway 3. You see that? So I'm going to have to call clearance again and let her know, according to my charts, the Bosque 3 is only for runways 21 and 26. So there is not even a narrative for runway 3. So let me get back on the horn with her and get this straightened out. Albuquerque clearance, Frontier Flight 318.
752, my Foxtrot, Seattle Center, Police Central Altimeter 3035, advise your weather for Toledo, approach request.
Oh my, that's in my voice. Looking at here. Hey, what's going on, Auto Master, Austin Master? Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you've been there for a long time. This is the first time I'm seeing you say anything, but welcome.
No, 752, Mike Foxtrot.
And we're on PilotEdge. That's my voice. So I can help you out with that connection for your voice. So I'll give you some suggestions there in a second.
There's 752, Mike Foxtrot, clear direct Himzo.
Sorry for the delay, but we have to make sure our arrival's right. It should be on the
cleared on runway 6 approach.
The Menzo 3.
Frontier Flight 318, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, Roger. I was inputting the Bosque 3 departure. However, that is not a sufficient, according to my charts, departure for runway 3. That's for runway 21 and 26 in the narrative. So do you want me to change runways, or do we need to change departures, ma'am?
Frontier Flight 318, well, I changed you from the Bosque to the Menzo, which should be good for runway 3. I'll double check for you.
No, you're right. I essentially filed the Menzo 3, and I thought you were changing me to the Bosque 3. So no, the Menzo 3 is fine. That's what I originally filed. I don't know why it didn't come through on the flight plan, but Menzo 3 is fine, and just disregard for Frontier Flight 318.
Frontier Flight 318, no problem. Contact on when you're ready for taxi.
Okay, roger that. All right, so again, I mean, the good thing is this is recorded. So I know I'm not crazy, but I'm not saying anything here, but we most certainly had that filed, and she started talking about the Bosque 3. I don't know why that even happened, but yet it did. So the only thing is to do when this is real world stuff. So you just simply have to make sure that you are double checking your flight plan, which is what we had in there in the first place. So no worries there. So let's get out of here, folks. Let's get that APU on. And that was a little bit of, again, a slowdown. Don't know what happened there. But anyway, it is what it is, right? So let's get this pack flow back to low until we get the aircraft started up. And let's go ahead and get our beacon on. Everything else, the nav is on. And pretty soon this will say available. I'm just going to wait for this to say available until we worry about anything else. Alright, and if we really wanted to, we could come down here and get our APU information up here to see that. So you just click that and you can see that's where the APU is right now. And should not be available yet because it's still coming up. Again, everybody, welcome back on board Frontier Flight 318, full service from Denver to El Paso. This is our first stop here in Albuquerque. And we had a pretty windy landing. We're just waiting on our APU to come up and say available. so that we can disconnect the ground power, because we can't pull back with the ground power connected. We can't do that, otherwise the cord will be drugged back with it, and that's a no-no. So still waiting for it to say available. Now it does. So essentially now we can go ahead and turn on that bleed air, and we can get rid of the external power now. You can see that just turned over. And let's go ahead now and go back to our rusty dusty screen here, because there's a few other things we have to do. Let's get rid of the external power. I love this. For people that don't understand binary code, ones and zeros, they do this ones and zero, which some people don't even like. Why is it a zero there? I think it's cool. Anyway, let's see. Actually, let's get all the doors to auto and doors to auto now. And we'll get that back to auto like the rest. And now we also, since we know the configuration, we know we're going to take off flaps 2. So here's the slopes. So flex temp 147, 151. So let me write these down now. So it's 47, 51, and 54. So now we need to handle that in the perf, and the flex temp is 55. So now you guys are saying, what is this dude talking about? This is what we're talking about. We need 147 for our V1 speed, which that's the committal speed. Once we get to that speed, we are taking off. And then V rotate is at 151, folks. And then of course, the safe climb out speed is 154. And of course, I forgot to do one thing. So we know the flex temperature is 55, and we need to set our trims. So let's do that again. I always end up forgetting something. I wish they would have this shortcut somewhere on the plane. And then you didn't always have to do this if I selected flaps 2. That's what I want. Okay, so it's down 01, so DN 01. Perfect. So now right here, we're going to go flaps 2 / Delta November 0.1. And we plug it in. Now we're ready to start the pushback, folks. All right, let's go ahead with better pushback. And boom, boom, boom. Here we are.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, tow is driving up, and let's just make sure that parking brake is, I guess it's on this way. Parking brake pull and turn. Okay, it's off that way. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and get our ground switched over, and we know tower is essentially, let's see, tower I believe again was 1203. Let's double check that. 1203 on the tower. All right, and then our departure frequency on our squawk. Our departure frequency is 1239.
Ready to connect.
7214 is our squawk code. 7214. 7214 is our squawk code, and 123.9. All right, 123.9 is our actual flight plan. I'm sorry.
So connected and bypass
departure frequency.
Release parking brake.
And again, we said top altitude was 200. All right, let's replace that parking brake. Parking brake is released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, folks, here we go. We're getting pushed back, but I can get ATIS. Okay, so that's again, Austin Master will get that. I think that's, you know, a little common problem to have. Boy, this guy's everywhere. This guy is, he's not messing around. He started doing some major spinning there. We were here and he came all the way over here. I'm telling you what, that guy's fired. All right, so that we can get out of here, let's go ahead and start our second engine. I normally don't do this, but man, we're trying to hurry up. We've been delayed. I got to tell the passengers that we're delayed. Let's look at our chronometer. Got turned off, so hour and 37 minutes. So let's see if we can reset that. let's see. I'm hitting this reset button. Alright, let's make sure we got our APU bleed on. We do. Alright. Pretty sure with the taxi, she's going to have us do Charlie, Foxtrot. Almost the same way, so we're basically facing direct to Charlie right now, which is good. Alright, let's get the second engine on, or the left side. And so there's the runway right down there, there's the right turn. Now this guy's still turning us. Now he's pulling us forward. Interesting. If he doesn't stop soon, we're going to stop him. Alright, I think we can just stop our better pushback now. There you go, straighten us up. That was weird. I didn't think all those turns needed to happen. Alright, so the second engine, or first engine I should say, or left side engine is all taken care of. Now we can come up top and turn that APU bleed off. We can turn the APU off and get our stuff to normal.
Set parking brake.
Alright, parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright, so we got both engines on. Let's get our flaps to 2. Let's get our spoiler armed, and let's get our brake here to max. We're going to turn that brake fan on. Delay takeoff for cooling. So we got to get the brake fan on, folks. You see we're getting a message right here. So you always have to pay attention to that. Delay takeoff for cooling. So we're just going to take our time here. Nose wheel steering is disconnected. Let's see. There's a nose wheel steering button. I see it all the time. I think it's over here. I've never had it disconnect on me though.
It's disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right.
There we go.
Next time and have a safe flight.
Now we'll put it. Now we did nose wheel steering, so that's done. So that's where the nose wheel steering is. Delay takeoff for cooling. So we'll do that, and we'll taxi down there. We'll just do a nice, easy taxi and see if that message gets rid of itself. All right, TCAS. Let's see. I wonder if we do takeoff configuration, what it's going to say. All right. Again, we do have those brake fans on. You can see they're on. Alright, so interesting enough, let me see up here if I can get any more air down there. So we're just going to delay here for a second, get rid of that master caution and see if we can get rid of that and see what's going on there. Again, guys, this is real life stuff here, so you got to be patient, but I'm trying to hurry up so we can take off, but we're getting a message here. So what we'll do is we'll taxi down, we'll get our taxi, and then we'll get down there, we'll do a nice slow taxi, and hopefully that extinguishes. Otherwise, you know, they're just still hot. And we got the brakes on after dropping, we were about 60 knots, which is really where you're supposed to apply those brakes, so that's peculiar that that's still on. But anyway, this is the first time I've done a flip in this aircraft. Alright, so let's turn her back on now. 1219. Albuquerque ground, Frontier Flight 318 with information Golf is ready to taxi.
Frontier Flight 318, Albuquerque ground, runway 3, taxi via Charlie, Foxtrot, cross runway 26 at Charlie, hold short runway 30 at Charlie.
Taxi to runway 3, Charlie, Foxtrot, cross runway 26 at Charlie, hold short runway 30 at Charlie, Frontier Flight 318. Alright. It's always trusty dusty to have a pin. Let's double check our takeoff information here. Okay, now one last thing we need to do is we did program in that, but now we need to get our transponder to TARA, squawking 7214. That is all gravy. We got our flap set to 2. We got this all the way to on, the auto brake. And brakes are still hot, so let's see if they get unhot. Let's do our flight controls check really quick. Just trying to kill a little bit more time and do the right thing here. Alright. We're going to go full up, full down, aileron left, aileron right, rudder left,
we are at the SBS.
rudder right. Alright, flight controls, our check is complete. Now we can come back down here and go back to the takeoff configuration. We know we're going to get an alert. No problem, that's just brake fans, and the ignitions are normal. And let's get our taxi light on.
Runway 35 left, taxi Alpha 3.
Runway turn off, the taxi light is on. Parking brakes release. Look left and look right. I know these cars come out of here. This guy's coming from the right. Hopefully he'll slow down. Alright, and this is Charlie right in front of us. And then Charlie, once we pass that one runway, which we're going to hold short of actually, that's where we make our right. Alright. We've been giving the approval to cross this runway. Woo, guys, look at there. The brake fans are good. Takeoff configuration is normal. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. We are able to take off. Alright, guys. Austin Master, yeah, once I get up in the air, I'll be able to talk to you a little bit more about your problems. A lot of it's in your configuration in vPilot. Are you flying X-Plane, P3D, or Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020? That would be my question to you, good sir. Alright, we're getting ready to hold short of this runway. Alright. Parking brake is set. Albuquerque ground, Frontier Flight 318 is holding short of runway 30 on Charlie.
Okay, I heard multiple at the same time there. I wasn't able to catch everyone. Frontier Flight 318, cross runway 30 Foxtrot.
Cross runway 30 Foxtrot, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, here we go.
Foxtrot, were you calling inbound?
Alright. Parking brake is released. Here we go, folks. And again, we do have our... I'm going to leave those brake fans on until we take off, okay? Because, again, we got it to where it's not saying hot now, so we're all good, folks. But I still want to leave those brake fans on just until we get down at the runway.
The 24th Seattle Center. Correction. Denver Center, squawk 3313 IDM.
Alright, we're taxiing now to runway 3. This will be Foxtrot here.
Axon 3313 IDM.
Now we are joining Foxtrot. Pretty much the same taxiways that we came in on. Alright guys, here we go. We are taxiing. We got a taxi speed of 23 nautical miles, or 23 knots on the ground. Welcome aboard everybody, everybody. Now this next leg is only 36 minutes, so we are going to be super busy. I don't think there'll be any music on the air. Hopefully, you guys saw those winds on this arrival here. Those winds were pretty egregious at, they were hitting us at 14 knots right off the left side of our aircraft. We still had a great landing. It was a -1 something, which is pretty good for that type of winds. And, you just got to handle it. So I knew the approach was a little tumultuous as soon as we captured the glide slope or the localizer in the glide slope. The aircraft was definitely dancing around everywhere. But with you guys on board, man, we handled it flawlessly. We still had a great landing, even in those winds. Again, I use Active Sky next for the weather. And yeah, Technically, I need to actually pull that up here in a second. Let me see if I can multitask here. I gotta type in. All right. That way we can get the accurate weather. All right, there, I just updated it. Multitasking here, you can see the weather. It got a little bit brighter. I just updated that for Albuquerque on over to El Paso. Taxiing at 24 knots. I'm flying X-Plane and using Squawk Box, but I was hoping... So X-Plane, Austin Master, that might be your problem. You're using Squawk Box. I use vPilot for X-Plane, and that may be your problem. I cannot talk about Squawk Bots. I can use XPilot because I have MacBook and Windows. Oh, I can't use... Okay. Anybody else watching the stream that has a MacBook, you might need to reach out, Austin Master, because I really couldn't tell you. I don't fly with a Mac. I have an iPhone. All my kids and everyone has an iPhone, but we use PCs in here. We don't use the MacBook, and I'm not familiar with Squawk Box. I was years ago when it was FSX. But not, I haven't used it for years, so I don't know if there's always a problem with the code and stuff for, you know, a Mac versus a PC. I'll try to do some research for you. I won't be able to do it during this flight because I'm going to have to do some computer research and get back to you, brother. Honestly, young lad.
Tower, November 38 Zulu.
All right, here we go, here we go. We are at Foxtrot 6, holding short of runway 3.
3 Zulu, Springs Tower, on Frontier runway, heading runway 3, left clear for takeoff.
As promised, let's go ahead and get that brake fan off. Okay, brake fan is off and everything else is good to go.
November 38 Zulu.
Now we need to switch over here to our tower 1203, and then our departure frequency is 1239, so let's get that plugged in here, guys. There we go, 1203 and 123.9er. Albuquerque Tower, Frontier Flight 318 is on Foxtrot 6, holding short, runway 3, ready for departure.
Frontier Flight 318, Albuquerque Tower with 340 at 7, runway 3, clear for takeoff.
Runway 3, clear for takeoff, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, here we go, folks. So we are ready to go. We're going to go strobes on. We're going to go landing lights on. And taxi light is on. For some reason, I don't think we ever turned that off, but that's alright. And everything else is looking good. Flaps are in the takeoff position. And again, we have our V-speeds all programmed in, so the plane knows exactly what's going on. You know what? Parking brakes release, folks. Here we go again with the brake fans. All right. There we go. We'll leave the brake fan on, guys. Final looks clear. You guys see that? You know, again, you want the realism. Well, we got the realism here today. Those brake fans are messing with the brake cooling situation is messing with us. So I'm going to leave the brake fan on so we can get out of here, folks. Plus, we want those brakes to cool down for our arrival. Nice smooth turn here onto runway 3, of course. We're just doing Togo. We're not going to do flex. Togo. Airspeed is alive. $80 knots. Can feel those winds kicking up again. It's only at 7 knots, so it's not as bad. V1 rotate.
Glacier altimeter 3031 to approach cross.
All right, positive rate. Autopilot on. All right, folks. We're about to start making our right turn. And that's why we're doing Togo. The aircraft is pretty heavy.
You broke up a little bit on that just because underneath of the ILS runway 2.
All right, we got our thrust climb.
November 0 Alpha November, Roger. It would be cleared ILS runway 2 approach report established.
All right, we're going one saves flaps up. You'll see the flap here changing over. She'll change us over to departure here in a second.
Frontier Flight 318, contact departure.
Over to departure, Frontier Flight 318. You guys can see there's a little mist, and we're going
radar contact
flaps
departure.
up clean.
Over to departure with 380.
Albuquerque departure, Frontier Flight 318 is 8,300, climbing via SID.
Frontier Flight 318, Albuquerque departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 200.
Up to flight level 200, Frontier Flight 318. So we had 200 in there, so the difference is now we don't have to adhere to the departure. I can go straight up. So now the aircraft's going to go straight up to flight level 200. So she gave us essentially a shortcut on our ascent. Normally you would have to stay within the parameters, turn the taxi lights off and the runway turn-off lights off. We're making our right turn here into a misty Albuquerque area.
Screen departure, resume navigation, maintain appropriate view altitude.
Alright guys, Togo, always called Toga. There we go. That's right. And it's actually Toga, not Togo. Takeoff, go around is what it stands for. If I said Togo, excuse me, thank you, Austin Master. It was most certainly Toga, not Togo. Alright, we are above a flight level or 10,000 feet, so we can get all the lights off now. Alright, off and clean. And we can disarm those spoilers now.
Spoilers
are disarmed.
Go Lake Center, thank you.
And I'm going to leave those brake fans on right now. It doesn't seem to be doing any harm. Let's just keep cooling those brakes down because we don't want to have a problem with our brakes on landing since this is such a short flight. And we are off, guys. Not really a bad turnaround except some confusion with the air traffic control. We're not too worried about that. So I'm not even going to put music on because things are going to happen really quickly.
Okay, 169 Albuquerque Center, good evening.
Alright. Alright, Toga. So yeah, again, Austin Master. That's exactly what you're probably going to have to do is just, either maybe also too, what you can do is check the forums. So just Google Squawk Box X-Plane 11 can hear ATIS or having problems transmitting. Sometimes too it has to do with, I don't know if you've set your preferences for your microphone and or your output channels. So essentially if you can hear the ATIS, that means you have already selected an audio output. It's mainly the input because essentially once you change over frequencies to that, if you can hear the ATIS, that means you're connecting to their server. Essentially when you change the frequency, another thing is it's depending on the aircraft that you're flying. Now if you're flying real world aircraft like I fly, you can notice down on the radio stack, like for this aircraft, when you first load it up, it's off. So you have to turn it on and then you have to make sure it's transmitting. For example, if I want comms too, I turn it on and off with this. So sometimes that's the problem. I'm not saying that that's what your problem is. I'm just methodically going through it in a flowchart type sense. Other than that, the best thing you can do is double check your output, double check your mic. If you can hear the ATIS on VATSIM when you plug into it and it's their ATIS, then that's fine. Now sometimes what happens is when you plug into the ATIS and you are even on VATSIM but it's not connected, the ATIS is going to come through for X-Plane. So you'll be hearing the X-Plane ATIS and you'll see the banner on the top going by with the MEDAR. So again, I'm just trying to troubleshoot with not knowing a whole lot, but I recommend you go to the forums and check that out because I've had several problems with that too over the years, and it usually turns out to either A, make sure the aircraft is all turned on. B, make sure you have your output and your mic set up. And then 3, make sure that your software is all set up for you to get the right server and all that stuff. Alright, we are passing flight level 180, so we're going to the standard on all of our altimeters. And we should be getting some information from the tower to increase our climb here in a second.
Frontier Flight 318 contacts Albuquerque Center 134.6.
Albuquerque Center 34.6, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, 34.6. Going over to 34.6, and again, things are going to happen really quick because it's such a short flight here.
November 90, established.
November, thank you, contact Glacier Tower.
Albuquerque Glacier, November 90, November.
Albuquerque Center, Frontier Flight 318, flight level 200. She's probably going to give us all the way up to a flight level 290 when she comes back on.
United 0 up November, Glacier Tower, runway 2, clear to land.
Alright guys, we're moving right along.
Frontier Flight 318, Albuquerque Center, it's climbing between flight level 290, have a minute to your routing, advisory copy.
Okay, let me get that climb going and then I'll let you know when I'm ready to copy that amendment to the route, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, so let's get the climb going. She's got an amendment to the route, so again guys, it's going to get interesting again. Let me get my rusted, dusted pad ready. Albuquerque Center, Frontier Flight 318 is ready to copy the route amendment.
Frontier Flight 318, after truth and consequences, change, I forgot the fix, but router, El Paso to redirect Bodie, Bravo, Oscar, Alpha, Tango, Yankee, Wasco 1 arrival.
Okay, so again, let me get this. Am I making this change after router for Frontier Flight 318?
The Frontier Flight 318 negative. It's after truth and consequences. Tango, Charlie, Sierra. Your route should be Bodie, Bravo, Bravo, Oscar, Alpha, Tango, Yankee, Wasco 1 arrival.
Okay, after Tango, Charlie, Sierra, we'll type in the fix of Bodie, Bravo, Oscar, Alpha, Tango, Yankee, then the Lasco 1 for Frontier Flight 318.
Frontier Flight 318 is correct, thank you.
Thank you. Alright, so here's what we got to do, my folks. Now that we are direct, and again, here it goes getting interesting. We got 66 nautical miles, so I'm going to let the aircraft straighten up, and then we'll get this on a heading mode. And then we'll make the changes and stay direct Tango, Charlie, Sierra. So the aircraft essentially is almost straight and on course. And again, guys, here's why everything is always interesting. I'm thinking it's going to be a simple flight. We have our routing, and then she changes it up again, which means I got to replan for the runway as well. So we have a few minutes to do that.
126.1, have a good night.
Alright, so let me get El Paso's information in. Let me get you guys a better view here. And things are happening very quickly here, as I promised. It's always something new. Alright, so we said that more than likely we were coming in on runway 4, but maybe the winds changed. So let me check the weather as well. Okay, winds are still out of the north, so the winds is now 10 degrees now, so it still makes sense for runway 4, so I'm still going to plan on that. So, and then she said the Lasco 1, which is not the Lasco, it's the Wasco 1, which I just pronounced that. Alright, so now, okay, so now what you got to do, guys, in order for the aircraft not to mess up, you want to put it in the heading mode. So now the aircraft is in the heading mode. We're still climbing up to flight level 290. So now we need to start doing the fix of Bodie. Bodie's a fix, not a VOR. So BOA Tango Yankee. And then we'll insert that for now. Now we come down to Kelp, and now we can change the arrival. We're still doing localizer 4, and we should get the Wasco 4. Wasco 1.
We are going to go ahead and cancel with you right now.
And there, oh, that's nice.
So
we'll do, let's see.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Via, we'll do no via. No transition. Okay. We're going to do none. We're going to insert that.
Roger.
Okay, so now all right, so then now we're going to take this Wasco. Let's see, return. Let me see what's going on here. Let's see, we got that. Okay, here we go. So let me see where we're at here in the big scope of things. All right, we are direct TCS, then Bodie, then after Bodie. Let's see, we can essentially clear these out. And then we're going to clear this out. And then now we can insert that. Now we're direct TCS. Now what we can do is you can go right in here to direct and you can type in TCS again. And as soon as we insert it, now we're back. The aircraft is now back direct TCS and we made our changes. Still expecting the same runway. So that's how we make that happen. Now again, let's go double check that. The destination information that it wants is regarding the altimeter. Alright, here we go. We're actively going here now. Then from TCS, Bodie, Wasco. Alright. We're going to check that out on the plan as well. Let me check the approach for localizer 4.
Albuquerque Center, Walker 100, flight level 350.
Wasco.
Walker 100, Albuquerque Center, good evening.
Kogi, Latin, Wansu. And then there's the runway right there. And then our missed approach is back to El Paso. That's the missed approach. Yep, it'll be climb up to 4,500, then right turn to 6,900, direct El Paso. So that'll be missed approach right there. All right, now we can also get the ATIS for El Paso, which is 120, 120 right on the money. All right, we are at a cruising altitude of
980 Alpha November, taxi to
29,000 feet. And now if we come over here to Perf, our top of descent's only in 30 nautical miles, so we're almost about to get into there. So I think we're still too high and too far to get the ATIS, so we'll get on the arrival first. Let's check it out and see if we can get it.
Advise on initial contact. You have information Kilo.
Kilo.
El Paso International Airport. ATIS information Kilo. 0251 Zulu. Wind 360 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 11. Dew point -14. Altimeter 3007. Arriving and departing runways 4, 8 left, right. Visual approach is in use. RNP approach is available upon request.
Frontier Flight 318 descend to the Wasco 1 arrival, runway 4 transition, the El Paso altimeter 3007.
Okay, descend via the Wasco 1 arrival, and with the transition, and the altimeter is 300 for Frontier Flight 318. He's probably going to say something about me.
Frontier Flight 318 at the runway 4 transition, altimeter 3007.
Okay, runway 4 transition, the altimeter 3007, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, so we already had that.
Number 382, contact Centennial Tower, 118.9.
So now that we have that, let me just make sure, here, so I can type in now, if you go to perf, and come over here to the next phase, and then the next phase, 30.07, QNH. And then one thing that we need to do is start getting this down for our descent, which is coming up pretty soon here. Let's look at our perf again.
We have the 380 in the L tower and our right down to
12
our 17
nautical miles,
left.
11 nautical miles.
17 left, clear to land.
There's our top of descent right there. Alright, so again, things happening the Wasco 1. Alright, so coming down for runway 4, Wasco to coach. And then expect radar vectors, which is cool. So once we get to coach, from coach, we're just going to keep a heading of 167, and then the rest of it he'll give us vectors. All right, and coach is at 8,000. And we're pretty much there at top of descent. If you go to perf, 2 nautical miles, 1 nautical mile, all right, now we're starting our descent. You can see here the vertical speed indicator is going to do its thing, probably right around, that's a little more than I thought it would be. All right, we are on descent. Bottom altitude is 8,000 feet at coach, and we'll be on a heading of 167 once we get there. So once we get direct coach, I'll put it into the heading mode, and then he can go ahead and vector us. But it's going to be a very quick, looks like, left turn right onto there. So I even think the aircraft has already got that information programmed. So we'll be doing a localizer for approach. Now there is no
116 flight plans clear the Boise Airport, Miami 4 departure, Kimberly transition, direct Devil filed, maintain 7,000, departure frequency 18.42, squawk 132.
Alright, Austin Master, thanks, gotta go figure out how to use VPILOT to get back to you if it works. Alright, let me know, brother. That's all good. So now we are descending into the El Paso area, which we knew it was going to be a very quick flight, and then we'll be done working today. Now we are direct Wasco. Alright, once we get into the airport, hopefully the arrival's a little better. We're essentially going to...
116 squawk 1326.
We're essentially going to land here, and then the taxi back is really easy.
116 readback is correct.
Straight
and verify equipment suffix slant golf. I just want to make sure you are not RBSM capable.
Juliet. Straight in. See that? Juliet comes straight into the ramp.
Okay, thank you. We're to Tolima.
Nice long runway, 12,000 feet. Elevation there is 3917. Let me show you guys the approach really quick. Here's the localizer DME approach runway 4. So if you ask that, that's what we'll request. Be on a heading of 42. Cantar is the initial approach fix and the initial fix. And then booyah. Of course, at Cantar we need to be at 7,500. Eco. Again, it's not our nav. It's a localizer. And then again, here is the missed approach information. Climb up to 4,500 feet. Right turn up to 6,900 feet direct to El Paso. VOR 115.2. We can have the autopilot do that if we do a misapproach. There's no worries there. Altimeter is 3007. And here we go. Woo! Got to get more cushion. All right. We are rolling right along. On descent into El Paso. And then we will essentially be done with our flying. All right. Alright, business partner had called while I was flying and paying attention to you guys and everything that we got going on here. Let's see, let's make sure the aircraft is going to do what we need to. So if we go to flight plan, we need to make sure at Wasco we're going to do, let me see I got to make sure I'm adhering to the speed limits. So at Wasco, let's see, we should be at 280 now. Seb key above flight level 190 at 280. And then at Wasco, there is no speed, but then we need to slow it down. So we essentially need to be, it's not that, we're not speeding that bad. It's got coach at 210, so the aircraft knows to do that. This should have been 280 here. Even here at Wasco, it should be at 280. Yeah, so let's make a change there. 280 slash 10990. Oh, actually, you know what? We're supposed to be there no lower than 11,000. Alright, that absolutely didn't do anything, which is funny. Oh well. Now we just changed it to 11,000 and it's still got it at 294, so I essentially got punked by the plane. I tried to control it and it said no, it's going to control me. So, hey guys, you saw it right here on the channel. Tolis Airbus A319 punked me. I said I wanted it 280, it said no.
38 Zulu, next parking via Alpha and our main circle connect.
Alright, let's get our altimeter set up here. 3007. Got punked by the plane. 3007. 1018 is that altimeter, so we know the trick here. Let's come on over here to 1018. There we go. That's the same altimeter. It just doesn't switch over from Q and H, so we got to get crafty how we do it. All right. Still descending nicely. We should hit 11,000 feet at Wasco, and then at Coach we should be right at 8,000 at 210, and that's what we'll be on that heading of 167 according to the chart, and then we'll get vectors. Alright, and essentially what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and just start controlling the speed. I'm going to bring it down to 250. So I'll manage the speed, the aircraft will still manage the pitch. It should still have us at 11,000 there. So Wasco 11,140, which is fine. It's still managing it. It switched it up based off the speed because I punked it. All right, now we need to go ahead and throw in some and let me look for the tower. Tower frequency there is 118.3. So let's type in 118.3 over here. Let's go around the robins, quicker this way. All right, let's get that, there we go, we got it back armed. All right, once we get direct, and you guys can see here, there it is. So the other one was too sharp, so we'll go on this heading, then he'll swing us around, which is no problem.
Frontier Flight 380, contact El Paso approach, 119.15.
El Paso approach, 19.15, Frontier Flight 318. All right, 1915. These frequencies start to sound alike all the time. That's why I write them down. I recommend keep your scratch pad. El Paso approach, Frontier Flight 318, 11,300, descending via the Wasco 1. We have information, Kilo on board.
Frontier Flight 318, opposite approach, pass altimeter 3007, thank you for Kilo, expect a visual approach, runway 4.
Expecting visual approach, runway 4 for Frontier Flight 318. Alright, so I knew he's probably going to give us the visual. So at this point now, let's continue to bleed that speed. On our next leg. Alright, so now we're bleeding speed, and then we'll get those flaps out. And as soon as the aircraft straightens itself up and goes direct, then we are most certainly going to do the heading mode. Alright, landing lights are coming on. And guys, we're about to do it again. Hopefully we get a smooth one. Alright, aircraft is all nice and straightened out. Alright, now we're on a heading mode of 167. Alright, let's bring those spoilers back out. Let's arm those spoilers because we're still going a little bit too fast. Alright, we'll get our landing systems on. We'll get it even for this little secondary one here. Still bleeding speed. Landing lights are on. Let's get that 10-mile range going. Still got about 10 nautical miles to Koch. Slightly off. Just made a minor adjustment. So you can see still bleeding that speed. Don't forget our flaps 1 extension is 230. We're just now passing 230.
Walker 169, contact Albuquerque Center, 134.6.
And we said that, I gotta come do it over here, of course. We said the tower frequency is 18.3, so that's gonna be the next one. So now we'll just put it over here. So all we have to do is just one click. But I always have it in the standby, just in case, because you guys know stuff goes wrong all the time.
Walker 169, Albuquerque Center, roger.
18.3, 18.3, verified, 18.3. Information Kilo is on board. Let's go ahead and get rid of that situation there. We are at 8,000 feet. So he's probably going to give us a right turn.
Yeah, pull it around, left 116, turn left heading 130, and we have 4,
and maintain 8,000.
We didn't hear any of that. Okay, if that last call was for Frontier Flight 318, you were stepped on, sir. Could you repeat that?
Frontier Flight 318, turn left heading 110 now. Descend and maintain 8,000, please.
Left 110 and maintain 8,000, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, 110 coming up on the heading.
Yeah, pull it around, left 116, Charlie 22, ready for push and start uniform.
Now, one thing we need to do, of course, is come here. Things are happening quick, folks. We've got to come here to the perf. Go to the
Alaska 1,
next phase.
Portland
Our
ground.
approach is 132 with full flaps.
Push on to Tango's approved, north or south, your choice. Call ready to taxi with your runway preference.
Roger that, we'll push and we'll take one to the right on that for Alaska 116.
I missed that you broke left
He's
or right.
going to give us a short final here.
Oh, we'll go for the right.
So this ought to be interesting. We're going to get a short visual.
Frontier Flight 318, El Paso Airport, 11 o'clock, 10 miles, put the field in sight.
Okay, we're just in front of a mountain. We'll report the field in sight once we have it. Frontier Flight 318. Let's see. Frontier Flight 318 has the field in sight.
Frontier Flight 318, visual approach runway 4, contact El Paso Tower, 118.3.
Alright, clear visual approach, runway 4, over to tower, 118.3, Frontier Flight 318. El Paso Tower, Frontier Flight 318, visual runway 4.
Frontier Flight 318, El Paso Tower, runway 4, clear land. The wind's 360 at 11.
Runway 4, cleared to land for Frontier Flight 318. Alright, gonna have the bird start descending. And let's go ahead and start getting our speed back. Of course. There is the field. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and bring the speed all the way back. We're going to go speed check flaps 2. And going to bring the speed all the way down to our approach speed. Autopilot is off, folks. Alright, let's do this. Here we go. We still got to get our landing gear out. Landing gear is on the way down. Spoilers are armed. All the landing lights are on. Alright, folks. It's our aircraft. Let's make sure we continue to get our speed down here. Speed check. Let's go flaps full.
2,500.
All right. Let's start our turn. Landing gear's down. Again, all this happens real quick.
2,000.
Let's get our auto brake on. All right, folks, we're doing good. All right, 1,000, folks. Man, it makes a big difference with no wind. I can tell you that. Big difference with no wind. Trimming the plane down. We're on a nice approach.
400.
400.
300.
Nose up a little bit.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. Retard. 10. 5.
All right, a little bit harder, acceptable. All right, reverse is on. All right, reverse free. Whew. That wasn't the best landing, but it was acceptable. And it's given how fast everything happened. We're on November. Given how fast everything happened, I'll take it. Bit of a sloppy approach towards the end, but that's because it was a short final on visual, so that's what you got to do. All right, parking brake is set. Let's do landing lights off, of course. Let's clean up the aircraft. Strobe is off.
Flight 318, tax terminal via Mike, Juliet, Golf, and extra standby. Flight 318, taxi to Golf via Mike and Juliet, and cross the 8 right approach area at Juliet. We'll see you.
Taxi Mike Juliet, cross the runway 8 at Juliet. We'll see you next time, Frontier Flight 318. Alright, so we're getting everything off here. We'll leave this to taxi, of course. Got that on. And let's make sure the aircraft is all cleaned up. Let's get the spoilers off and let's taxi in, guys.
Albuquerque clearance, November 9115 kilo.
Juliet.
Walker 350, Oakland Center, roger. Number 9115 Kilo, Albuquerque clearance. If you're going to fly tonight, I need you to log in with a November prefix at the start of your call sign.
So this is Juliet here. Welcome into the El Paso area.
November 9115 Kilo.
Landing was acceptable, not a bad landing.
Looking for an IFR to Flagstaff.
Essentially, we probably bounced down a little bit too hard.
Tonight, you need to put a November prefix at the front of your call sign, as in like when you're logged in.
Still a pretty good landing. So we will most certainly take it. Again, guys, thanks for flying on board. That last flight, it was super busy. We'll come back and do our replay. And get out of here. As always, guys, thanks for flying on board. Couldn't do it without you guys.
All right, let me check on that for you, please. Thanks.
For sure, for sure. I'm trying to get some jams on here, but also drive good at the same time. All right. You know what we're going to do? We're going to park it. And we're going to get you guys a nice little replay.
Albuquerque clearance, November 9115 Kilo.
Is set. We're going to go ahead and take that transponder off. Let's go ahead and get that taxi light off and get the beacon off.
Number 9115 Kilo, Albuquerque clearance.
And APU is on.
Good afternoon, November 9115 Kilo.
The aircraft off.
Looking for two.
We'll turn them off. Booyah! There we go, folks. Welcome it in to the Albuquerque area. It is time to get us a replay on here for sure. All right, now we're going to go ahead and disconnect from PilotEdge and get this replay going on. Appreciate you, Chief Sim Pilot, for saying lovely, bro. Thank you, honey, for saying that. We had 2 nice landings. First one was great. Next one was acceptable. Nothing was over negative 300. I'm so proud. Quick flight, lot going on. You guys get to see sometimes in the air we do route changes. You got to listen to ATC and get all this stuff going on. Multitask, talk to you guys, mix the music as a DJ and keep it flowing. And we did it. We did it together. We did it nicely. All right, really quick, briefly, I'm going to disappear so I can get this replay set up for you wonderful folks. So I'll be right back with the replay. You're going to still hear my voice, but you will not see me. You will not see me until we're ready to go for that replay. Thanks for flying with me. This Frontier Flight 318 full service from Denver over to El Paso. We stopped in Albuquerque. We had a great landing. And what can I say? You know, I enjoy flying with you guys on board all the time. Let's go back out here and see that tower view. Let me bring you guys back in to the stream. Here we go. Here we go. Let's watch this landing replay here. All right, here we go. A little bit of texture popping on here. That's weird. That's all right. It's not all perfect. And that's why I say I don't do replays until the end. Let's do a little flyby real quick. Woo! The doors are open. The doors were open on the aircraft. Again, wonderful glitch. We saw those doors close and now they opened up. Look at that. We closed the doors in Albuquerque. You guys saw me put them to auto and they opened back up. That's all right. Our biggest thing was to actually see the aircraft touch down. Let's do that one more time. Even the takeoff configuration said the doors were closed and everything was fine. So guess what? That's one of the glitches of X-Plane. All right. Not bad. We held the nose up. Center line pretty much. All right. Let me go back for my wife. That way I can get some cool points. All right. Here we go. Here we go. With the doors open, which weren't open. Nice touchdown. For an acceptable landing, that was pretty good. All right, let's bring it back one more again. And you know how I like to do it. We're going to ride out to a wing view here. All right, let's get ourselves situated here with a really, really good view. Before I hit play, I want to tell everybody thank you again for watching the stream. I'm very gracious for your time, for subscribing, for your interest in this. I love flight simulation. Again, it does the heart good, does the mind good, keeps me cleared out and centered. We're going to ride out to this wing view landing. I'll see you guys the next time. And until then, stay safe and have a great rest of your weekend. I'm Dre Sanchez, aka the Motivated Sim Pilot, and I'm out. Enjoy this wing landing, and again, enjoy the rest of your day.